And deceit. If not for the coming of IPOB of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Gowon is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back, Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzogwu coup, so-called Nzogwu coup, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael. But what I'm telling you are fast. Go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. There was a coup by Nzogwu. And after that, there was the massacre of, as usual, massacre of our people in the North. Ojukwu said, I have to secure my land and my people. They said, no, let's go to Aburi to discuss it. Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed restructuring. That's something now you're asking for. To tell you how foolish Nigerians are. They're very foolish. That same nonsense you're asking for now was discussed many years ago. Ojukwu sat down in Aburi with Gowon and decided that regionalism was the best way forward. Restructuring, going back to who you were, 1963 Constitution, 1963 Constitution. Be on your own and pay tax to the central government, as they have in America, as they have even in Britain. Britain, you have Scotland that is almost independent. Wales, the same thing. Everybody is free. But Britain doesn't want the same thing they're enjoying to happen in Nigeria. Why? Ask yourself that question. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria is your enemy. I'll prove it to you now. Ojukwu negotiated devolution, regionalism. The North will be on their own, the West on their own, even Midwest on their own, and then the East on their own. It's the same one Nigeria. On their way to the airport, before they boarded the aircraft, a call came from Lagos, from the British High Commissioner in Lagos, to Gowon, telling Gowon not to agree, after having signed the agreement. That same Gowon you're looking at today, God kept me alive so that he can witness the destruction he will bring upon that very zoo called Nigeria. Gowon said no. Do you know all the journalists in Nigeria, none of them have ever gone to go on to ask him, why did he say no to Aburi? Aburi was restructuring. None of those agitating for restructuring right now has ever gone to Nigeria to say, but Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said, no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. If not now, that after many years of hammering on this very topic, it has now sunk into the skull of the people that Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is, always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it, and we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. It must come. And anybody from today, if we find you in the diaspora aiding or abetting any sector or any group on the ground back home, you will also be in trouble. Because only one source of fundraising is allowed. We are under one command, not multiple commands, only one. If you want to help ESN, contact our sister. Contact the people that will release their telephone numbers. Not every idiot coming out to fundraise for us. We don't want you to. We didn't get to where we are today by fundraising like people who have no direction or sense of purpose. We are IPOB, we do things differently. We must learn, as the Ekumeku taught us. It was Ekumeku that fought the British. Ekumeku, mostly in Ahaba. Today they call it Asaba. Some of the idiots that say, oh, well, we are Nyama Igbo, all those fools. Ekumeku was formed by people from Arochukwu, 7 sons from Arochukwu, from Izuog mostly. Then went to Anioma when Arochukwu fell to go and fight the British. Do you understand that very clearly? Ekumeku was so secretive that the British became frightened. That is the essence and purpose of ESN. We must go back to it. Secrecy is key. Mind you that careless talk cost a lot of lives. You must understand this very, very clearly. You must understand this very, very clearly. Our people need, a black person needs to be able to reason. Sit down and you will be able to reason, to understand. If you see ESN at work, keep your mouth shut, make sure no. Shut up your mouth and don't say anything. It is for a reason. Their own shit can go and see their bandits who are rapists and murderers, and they all keep quiet. All of you, some of you should just Keep quiet. And no ill discipline will be tolerated within the ranks of ESN. No ill discipline. If you're asked to sit down somewhere, you sit and you wait. If you don't have onions is coming. You just wait. It's called supplies. You'll be resupplied. Not talking and making stupid videos. And I don't want anybody from the diaspora to send not one single dime, not one kobo to anybody anymore back home. If you do, we will regard that as subversion, that you are trying to destroy the work that God is doing in our lives. There are a lot of criminals, and we cannot condone such. People making videos claiming they are the war front when they are not. Please stop it. I'm asking you to stop it. But I'm letting everybody to understand we must all protect ESN. Mind what we write, what we say, who we gossip to. Keep your mouth shut. And I am making it very clear, I have not mandated anybody to solicit for funds for ESN. Anybody coming to you asking for funds to support ESN, that person is a rogue, is a thief. If you support them, you are enabling the cause of the Janjaweed. Speak about Wala, because what you're doing will bring curse upon us. You are in ESN, you must stay there. If you're out, then you're out. Don't let anybody outside know you are part and parcel of ESN. It is very, very important. And our enemies are going to die. That I assure you. That I assure you. And they, of course, they know it. They know how stubborn we are. Do you think they will go free? Even for flying with a helicopter, you think we can allow them to go free? You've got to be joking. You must be joking. And anybody from today, if we find you in the diaspora aiding or abetting any sector or any group on the ground back home, you will also be in trouble. Because only one source of fundraising is allowed. We are under one command, not multiple commands, only one. If you want to help ESN, contact our sister. Contact the people that will release their telephone numbers. Not every idiot coming out to fundraise for us. We don't want you to. We didn't get to where we are today by fundraising like people who have no direction or sense of purpose. We are IPOB, we do things differently. We must learn, as the Ekumeku taught us. It was Ekumeku that fought the British. Ekumeku, mostly in Ahaba. Today they call it Asaba. Some of the idiots that say, oh, well, we are Nyama Igbo, all those fools. Ekumeku was formed by people from Arojugu, 7 sons from Arojugu, from Izuog mostly. Then went to Anioma when Arojugu fell to go and fight the British. Do you understand that very clearly? Ekumeku was so secretive that the British became frightened. That is the essence and purpose of ESN. We must go back to it. Secrecy is key. Mind you that careless talk cost a lot of lives. You must understand this very, very clearly. You must understand this very, very clearly. Our people need
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your place of domicile. You are welcome to this program. While you are joining, share the video, invite others to join. Wherever you are joining us from, share the video, invite others to join. Don't worry about what Facebook is doing, and I believe YouTube is also doing that. Don't worry about it. We will actually overcome. We will overcome. So there is no problem. If you are joining us from Twitter, from Facebook, from YouTube, especially on YouTube, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you are joining us on Facebook, share the video, invite others to join. Of course, we have a Twitter Tuesday. Continue to retweet the broadcast on Twitter at Judge Money C. Continue to join us on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa. Of course, we are live on Facebook at Judge Money Blog. And those of you who are expecting us to come live at Judge Money Official and /TV, we will share the link there and we're at trying to know what, monitor what is exactly is going on from our pages. So share the video, invite others to join. We have a lot to talk about this evening, afternoon, and morning, depending on where you are going to watch from. Of course, let me actually reiterate on our topic. Our topic says, if Asari Dokubo does not go to jail or questioned by the army, and then Uwazuruike respond to Asari. Of course, so many people has been criticizing Uwazuruike about the issue of Asari Dokubo, his quietness on the issue of Asari Dokubo. So finally, Uwazuruike decided to speak. So we're going to be bringing that Uwazuruike speech. And secondly, there is what I observed in that Uwazuruike's response to Asari Dokubo. Why is it important to have a holistic approach to the mind emancipation of our people? Just like, of course, so many of you are aware of the broadcast that was done by Mazi Metusela Nwanne Melchizedek on Sunday, where he was calling the media warriors. And then I went back. I've been looking for where that program was done, because he actually caught me off guard. I didn't know, when he told me my voice is coming out online, I thought maybe I'm on a broadcast and I didn't know. So I was just caught off guard. But of course, so we actually bring in our input. So in this regard, there is something that I want to actually touch on, because I finally found where that broadcast happened, because I've been looking for it on Metusela platforms. I couldn't find it, but this earlier on I discovered where it was airing. It's a new platform. I think it is Fact something about Fact. Let me find out the name of that platform. It says the name is Facing the Reality. Facing the Reality. That's where I found that program. So there is something one of our comrades said there that one of our comrades who actually said that he understood what we are talking about, and he is aware, but he is saying that it is not the right time, that we need to actually bring in, be more careful about the way we actually try to mind emancipate our people. There is some input I want to lay in there, because the reason why I understand what he is trying to say, and I understand his modus operandi, but the most important thing is that there is a man that we are following in this struggle. His modus operandi is the reason why we are all gathered here. So that modus operandi is the reason why you are convinced to join this struggle. Without such modus operandi, you will not actually be, we will not be conscious enough to understand that it is time for a change. It is that modus operandi that we are using. We haven't changed any bit. So it is very, very important for our people to understand that when we are actually trying to emancipate our people from the mind slavery, it is something we must do holistically. It is not something we will do, we will try to beat around the bush, because when these people were actually imposing their things on us, they did not actually beat around the bush. They went through to it. If you watch so many Nollywood movies, you will understand how it was done. They will always come and tell us that everything we were doing was a paganism. That everything that we were doing, to the extent that they told you that they stop us from doing many things. But at the end of the day, half, information is very, very dangerous. You see, half information. It is very, very dangerous. It is very important for you not to be, half informed or half education, will I say. It is very, very dangerous. Our problem is that we were hearing it from one side of the story, But of course, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu actually stirred up our consciousness to start searching in order to get these informations from both sides of the story. And that is exactly what we have done. And today, if you are joining us today, share this video, invite others to join. Let us actually beat this threshold of Facebook, trying to actually bring us down from what we are doing. Well, we are here to do a very, very important something. First of all, we are coming back to that. Let me actually start with the release of our leader. Our leader, Onyendu Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I believe that all these time-wasting strategies, delay strategies, I don't even know what exactly is the reason why the new government that is on seat cannot actually make a decision on the release of our leader, Onyendu Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know if he is going to also do the same thing that the previous administration did, which is the imposter in Asar. I don't know if this current administration is going to say that let him go and face the court. And of course, that was what the previous administration did, the mistake the previous administration did, because had it been the previous administration gave him, released him without actually bragging about him going to court and facing judgment, I don't think, I believe that he was going to be seen as, there will be something that Nigeria will forgive them about. But of course, he didn't do so. He actually made a very, very, grave mistake by sending Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to go through trial. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu emerged victoriously. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu emerged with the flying colors. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu disgraced them in their court. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu showed them that everything he is doing it inside the book, not off the book. That he knows the law and he has never violated any law of any place where he is domiciled. Rather, Nigeria went ahead to violate the right of this innocent man by extraordinary renditioning him from Kenya to Nigeria and trying him when his passport is still technically, in Kenya. So, of course, the court of a competent jurisdiction decided they will not stand with this, they will not entertain such act that is off the book. They decided to hand him discharged and acquitted. And of course, after that, what happened was that Nigeria government decided that they will overrule the court decision and make sure that they stay execution, just like they did, the best thing they could do. And they actually do what baffles the mind is that they removed the previous judges, those who gave him the judgment, those who work according to the Constitution of Nigeria and according to the international law and the Treaty of the United Nations, those who actually made sure that they did not want to violate such act. Those people were the same people who granted Mazen Nnamdi Kanu discharge and acquitted, and Nigeria decided that they would truncate every decision made by the justice system or by the judiciary. They decided not to, a special way that they will deal with such person, those learned judges. They decided they will, remove them from their position to another position, to the extent that one of their spouses, one of those judges' spouse was actually killed violently. So it is actually very, very important for us to continue to remind ourselves this history. It is very, very important for us to continue to remind the world of this history, because this history is something that is actually mind-boggling. because the United Nations is watching. Every international community is watching. I don't know the reason why they cannot stand up to actually call a spade a spade. They are acting as if there are lives that matters more than some other lives. We know very well that the violation of human rights is the order of the day in Nigeria. But now, when we have made it public, so many, in several occasions, everybody knows that when you make things public, that those people who are the perpetrators of such crime will have shame and stop the crime against humanity. But the one in Nigeria, they have no shame. They will go extra length to make sure that they serve their master, Britain. So that is exactly what we will continue to do, to continue our awareness campaign. And that's exactly what we are doing. And we are doing it holistically. Just like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did it, we are not going back. We will continue to expose the activities of all these people that are actually trying to truncate the right of people. I believe on Twitter, pardon me on Twitter, if you are watching on Twitter, I see that the topic did not change. I'm actually grappling with that topic of the Twitter. I don't know why it doesn't update, but I've tried to update it. It didn't change. Sometimes I don't know if it is network or the broadcasting software we are using. Pardon us in that Twitter that topic did not change. It is still on Bill Gates' visit to Nigeria. But what we are having this evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you are watching from, we are going to be talking about what is the reason why the Nigeria army is not actually questioning what Asari Dokubo actually, said against them. Why is it that the DSS is not moving swiftly to actually reprimand Asari Dokubo, or to bring him even, or, to questioning for coming in the camera, calling Ndibo that he sold them, that if not the intervention of Britain, that he will continue to sell them. If they could not do such things, that means that this government and this DSS, they promote anarchy. And they are now, making sure, because Asari Dokubo said he is killing our people, woto. That is the reason why I believe this DSS, all this, they will not talk about it. But however it is, there is a need for our people to defend themselves. Because it is a person who is alive that must defend themselves. That is the reason why we have declared Asari Dokubo wanted in our land, because he actually used his gang to kill our people. He used his gang to destroy villages. He used his gang to kill innocent people. He used his gang to actually burn houses belonging to our people in the name that he is fighting IPOB. That is the reason why it is very, very necessary for our people to rise up against their enemy. IPOB is nobody's enemy. IPOB is a friend to the people. Biafrans, we are not looking for anybody's trouble. The reason why Eastern Security Network was created, it was because the Fulani terrorists in the name of cattle headers, they are trooping into our bushes. They are actually destroying the farm produce of our people. They were raping our mothers and our sisters. They were killing our parents, our fathers in the farmyard. They were killing people who are actually using agriculture as a means of livelihood. So we cannot continue to condone that. Just like you have seen in the Middle Belt, just like you have seen in the northern Nigeria, you have seen the extent that these people could go in order to fulfill their desire of emancipation, desire of emasculation of the whole Nigeria. Don't forget, Nigeria was actually created to solve the budget deficit of the northern Nigeria. In the solving of this budget deficit of the northern Nigeria, it now resolved that the northern Nigeria has the monopoly of this, everybody, every nations that was amalgamated to help them in their budget deficit, and we are now following them blindly. And the worst of them all are the Biafrans, because we are Okikene Kenono. We are not realizing exactly what we need to do in order to actually stand in our right, in order to have our freedom. And that is exactly what, this young generation has risen up to do. And anything that will stand in our way, we are going to crush it, regardless of what it is, because we want our people. We want freedom for our nation. We want freedom for our people. We will continue to fight. We're not backing down, regardless of what the enemy will throw at us. Just like you have seen the governor of Enugu State trying to create enmity, trying to make enemies with Biafrans by, kidnapping people, our people in Enugu State. Of course, this governor, when he came up to talk about this sit at home, knowing fully well that Biafrans have called off the sit at home, that it is the infiltrators, the enemy that, their master and them created against IPOB. They are the ones, promoting sit at home and using this sit at home to commit different atrocities against our people, to exploit our people under false pretense, to make sure, remember that the sit at home is the only thing they've got, in order to use it to make sure that they exploit our people. And sometimes they make a video, they go out there, they get an old video where the military, I saw that video, I think in 2021, where the Boko Haram or Fulani terrorists are ambushed to the military and they kill so many of the military. They will bring those videos and they will tell you they are the ones doing it. They will now go to the bush. They will put a gun, violent noise, and it is actually a graphics you can add to any video you want. They will go to the bush and they will video the bush without videoing anybody, the opposition or the gun or anything. You're just hearing the gun sound, so that you will believe that these people are indeed working for you. But little did you know that these people are not working for anybody. These people are working for their pocket. And that is exactly what we are trying to mitigate. And we have done everything in our possession to expose the activities of these criminals to the world. And the exposition of these activities is what we have done, and we are not going back to it. That is exactly the reason why I do not actually entertain their idiocy anymore, because one moment. Okay. That is the reason why I do not entertain their idiocy anymore, because whatever they are doing right now, believe you me, it is actually, what they are doing, they are actually showing us that we have defeated them. But all these areas where they can carry out their mischiefs, of course, it is up to those people who call themselves your leaders in Biafraland to deal with them the way they should deal with them. But now they cannot do such. What these people are doing, they are actually making sure that they intimidate our people, make sure that they kill our people in their high numbers, just like you heard from Mazi Chinasanworu, how they were actually going and kidnapping our people. After, you remember the confrontation or whatever that happened between the Enugu State new elected governor, to the extent of the criminal element. I don't know what happened to his filling station. Then he's now blaming IPOB. He is going about looking for anybody, including kidnapping innocent people in the name of IPOB. But we are actually calling on him to retract his step, because where he is going, there is no road to it. and it is a road that will lead to destruction. You cannot make enemy with Biafrans because you are in the land of Biafra. Don't join Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma is already a doomed person. He's a gunner. Hope Uzodimma is a janjaweed. Hope Uzodimma, of course, you saw people he sent to go and represent him in the Mecca. They went to represent Hope Uzodimma in Mecca. So you will understand that Hope Uzodimma is no longer part of what we are doing. Hope Uzodimma is actually doing the bidding of the Fulani Caliphate. Of course, if you are as deadly as Hope Uzodimma, if you are as evil as Hope Uzodimma, those people who just single-handedly pick you from the third position that you did not win a governorship election and they make you the governor, why do you think wouldn't you actually obey them and kill your people? Because that is exactly, it is all about the power intoxication. It is all about power intoxication that is destroying our life, that is destroying black people. That is the problem that Hope Uzodimma is having right now. So don't try to go through that route Hope Uzodimma went. Of course, you remember this one, look at him, the one called Ojuzo, when he was bragging that he will send jet to bomb everything in the bush. He was calling his people everything in the bush. He didn't realize that one day he will see him crying for the, because of the betrayal he did against his people. That is exactly what is going on. So Peter Mba, I believe, is the governor of Enugu State. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you do your investigation. Do not actually intimidate, kill, or abduct further any of our people. Every life in Biafraland matters. Every life in Biafraland matters. It is the life of our people. All these people, all these killings and the maiming and the destruction, the destruction of properties and extortion of body parts that you guys are doing in Biafraland. Because most important thing that you guys are joining force with the enemy to kill our people. When Asari Dokubo said he is killing the Igbos, he will kill them, you are dying woto. He's supposed to be selling you, of course, including all of you who call yourselves the governors. He's supposed to be selling you, if not the intervention of Britain. That is when you will know does such, how these people are actually undermining the Igbo race. And the same man that was brought to Asar to speak on behalf of the president. They creating a war room, making Asari Dokubo the board chairman of this war room that they are creating all over the place, showing you that it is a mafia state that they are going to be running. But of course, the evil that man does will always dwell with them. What goes around will always come around. Asari Dokubo has made himself, he has made himself the enemy of the people, which one time he claimed that he is fighting for Biafra freedom. Asari Dokubo, you have destroyed yourself, you have destroyed your offspring, you have destroyed everything that come out of you, because whatever you are doing, and everything you are doing against Biafrans, believing that you are doing it because you can. Because you can, you are doing it. You don't remember. What goes around will always come around. Karma does not forget. Karma does not forget. Now, Asari Dokubo, you became a Muslim. Why did you become a Muslim? You were not born a Muslim. Your lineage is never Muslim. You decided to turn a Muslim just because you want to serve Fulani. I am not being prejudiced against Islamic religion, but Asari Dokubo did not join Muslim or Islamic family because he is joining it as his religion. He joined it for the sake of what he is going to get from it. Just like all these Arumajiris, that is coming from Hope Uzodinma. All these Almajiri who came to say they are in the Mecca praying. All those Almajiri, they did not join the Islam. Let me show you their videos. They only join these things for the sake of the benefit, the profit they are going to get. Of course, we trust the Fulanis. We know that they know the infidels. They know the infidels. And infidels will continue to be an infidel. Look at them. Look at him. Igbo man. Hope Uzodinma gave him money to go to Mecca, to go and represent him. Listen. Listen very well. These are criminals. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The next thing, inshallah. He's trying to perform his umrah. Look at him. Criminals. Criminals. This is to show you that every religion in this world, every religion, it is actually for exploitation. It is actually for stealing. It is actually for, killing. It is actually for conquest. That is every religion for you. That is the reason why these people will easily turn, after killing our people, looting the whole money in the places where they are supposed to be presiding over. They will come and tell you, Allahu Akbar, Allah ilallah. They will tell you we are in Mecca to pray. We are praying for Hope Uzodinma. Imagine the type of people that these people are praying for. Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, evildoer, a killer. A killer is the man that they are praying for. A killer in Mecca. If God is there, only if God is there in Mecca, God would have struck these people, to death, because they are unholy people. They are actually an infidel. That is exactly what they are. So many people will say that we shall not judge so that we will not be judged. These people, I am not judging them. I am stating a fact of whom they are. When you judge a person, is when you pull a trigger on their head. You have judged them for the sake of what they did. So make sure that you don't get confused with this context, because it is very, very important for our people to know what judgment is. Differentiate judgment from stating a fact. When I tell you that your pastor is actually preaching something that is offline, it is not judging your pastor. It is stating a fact of the criminality of your pastor. That is exactly what I am doing. This person that is actually talking that they went to Mecca, I don't know, this holy ground. When holy ground were holy ground, when the holies of holy of holies exist, if you are a sinner, you will never cross the holy of holies. There is no, there is no God in every of these religious, rooms. There is no God there. No more. Not anymore. Regardless of which one it is. These evil people will go and they go in there and they are praying. So many people will tell me that it is, God came for, Jesus came for the sinners, for the sinners. Which sinners are we talking about? He came for whose sin? Did he come for the sinners who are continuously destroying their own people? Did he come to encourage people to continue to steal from their own people, impoverishing nation, just for them to actually live a life that will not benefit anybody? And they're continuously doing it because they are conscious of what they are doing. It is not as if they are not aware of what they are doing. These people, they are not actually Islam. They are there just to because they have heard once you become Islam, Fulani will love you, Fulani will work with you, Fulani will do anything for you. That is the reason why they have become Islam. These are blasphemers. These people you see, they are blasphemers. And of course, the same Fulani will never have anything to do with them. Fulani will use them to kill their people because Fulani are on a conquest mission. Fulani will expand their territory. They go through conquest. They continue to kill people, take over your land, emasculate you, to make sure that they complete their conquest, which is the same conquest they are in Nigeria, regardless of what you are in Nigeria, whether you are so-called South-South, whether you are the West, whether you are so-called Southeast. All the Fulani is doing is to make sure they capture everywhere in Nigeria and take control. Because if you look around you today, what is keeping Nigeria? It is the oil that is coming out of your land. To confirm what Lord Lugard said, not even Lord, I don't know why he is Lord. To confirm what Lugard said before the amalgamation, we are going to bring these people together in order to solve the budget deficit of these people, whom they are, of course, the Fulanis were the same people, the first people they had arrangement with. Because they know that if there is no amalgamation, Fulani will not cross a border to go into your land and start exploring your petrol, and start exploring your natural gas, your crude oil, and upon that, while on that, Fulani will not actually come to conquer you or intimidate you, or to tell you before you become a governor in your state, you go and kill your people, to show Fulani that you swore an allegiance to Fulani that you will kill your people. Anybody that does not like Fulani feudal system, that you will kill them, to show Fulani that you can, to show Fulani that you are loyal to them. All these things are something that our people must condemn, regardless of which religions you are affiliated with. You should know every evil person, call them evil person, regardless of whether they have a Bible, whether they are carrying Bible, whether they are carrying Quran, whether they are carrying Oji, Nkendo Menana, whichever thing they are carrying. Make sure you condemn their activities. Whether they are your pastor, condemn their activities, because we are holistic. We must make sure that we show our people their transgression, especially our people, their transgression. Because what is ruining us today, it is, there are people who are saying that we shouldn't, that the religious discussion or whatever, our mind emancipation is going to divide the struggle. There is something I have for you. Those who are thinking that, there is something I have for you, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was actually, that is what he did. That was what he taught. So those of you who could not challenge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he was doing that teaching, and you could not challenge him, you could not stop him, you could not correct him, and you believe every time you say that you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are following him, you will do this for him, you will do that for him. You didn't challenge him. When he was doing that preaching, it is now when we are following his footsteps, you challenge him. You know what you are? You are actually a green snake in a green grass. You are a backstabber. Because why did you not challenge him? Because had it been you challenged him, because so many of you had access to speak to him, to tell him, Mazi, what you are doing about religion, it will divide this struggle. Why did you not say that to him? But now you are saying that to us because you couldn't say it to him. You respect him so much, or you are, that is exactly what it might resolve to be. That is exactly what it will look like. I am born, I'm bred in Christianity. I am born and bred and battered in Christianity, baptized in Christianity. And I know everything. I did my Holy Communion. I did my I did my catechism. I did my baptism. I did everything in Christianity. And I am loving it because I participated in such thing, because if you have never gone in, you will not see what is wrong with something. That is the reason why the Bible says we must try every spirit. Believe not in every spirit, but try every spirit. The book of 1 John 4 from verse 1. First John 4 from verse 1. It says that believe not in every spirit, but you should try every spirit. So I have tried and saw, I've seen that no, this thing that I am so familiar and used to, this thing is actually never worked for me. What it did is that it is actually destroying me from within. I am believing that na mo wanza na eloko, and mo wanza na eloko chena mo na ara mman. Wanza na eloko si na na ara mman. We continue to go to church, we continue to pray. Even where I am, I have slept in church, left my, my comfortable bed, gone to sleep in church for days, just because I was looking for a miracle. In all ramification, I have tried this, spirit, and I discovered that this spirit that they are using there, it is not the spirit of God. It is not in line with what God has given us to do. Because what God has given us to do, God said that we should keep his commandment and we should not add, we should not subtract. It is actually what God said. So many of you, God taught us how to pray. In the book of Matthew 6, he said, you should not add, you should not subtract. Why is it that your pastors today, they have decided to teach you a new way of prayers? By saying in the name of Jesus. When the same Christ taught you how to pray, this is actually some things that you need to be asking questions about. I am not judging you. I'm not judging your religion. I'm not judging what you believe in. Whatever you believe in, it is up to you and you are whoever you believe in. But the most important thing, that was something I said on Sunday. When Methuselah called me, I told him that in a situation whereby the demographic majority of our people are being deceived, demographic majority of our people are actually being affected by the teachings of this religion, or by the activities of these religious practices in our various places. It is now important that we must talk about it. If it is actually some, particular individuals that are actually being fooled in this regard, we will not talk about it. As long as we have actually discovered that the way most of these religions, the way they were created was they have to actually trample upon the one you have in order to introduce the new one, to use through it to control you, to exploit you, to extort money from you. It is actually something that we must, engage. And when we are engaging it, I don't need you to tell me I should engage it with, I should be political about it. That is the reason why I am coming to that program that Methuselah did on Sunday. I am coming there now. Once I am done with this, Uwazuruike's, let me check if I have it here. Uwazuruike's speech, because there are things Uwazuruike said in his speech which sound to me political, and I am not sure why Uwazuruike is sounding political. But there are some other things he said here that made sense, but we are going to actually unravel it, bring it to you. Just pay attention to what Uwazuruike is saying here.
As always, people have been asking me, wanting to know my position on the issues going on the social media. Asari Dokubo did this. Asari Dokubo didn't do this. They have not heard about you. We have not heard from you. There's nothing wrong if you want to know my opinion on issues. I have always said that anything involving Biafrans or Biafran struggle I will never come to the social media to condemn or to discuss. I said that Biafran should have a platform where the organizations will come together to discuss through their representatives. I'm not in support of coming on the social media to attack one another or to criticize anybody. But if anything happens, we'll say, you haven't said something, why not say something? Not remembering what your position is. Some people even came to say, Uwazuruike and Asari Dokubo are meeting to do this and that. And they want me to talk. They want to hear from me. Then they have to overreach me by telling lies. You always want me to say something. And you know, if you tell lies against me, I will put a rebuttal. I come out to say you're a liar. Then Uwazuruike has spoken. You have made Uwazuruike to speak. There was a time a woman in South Africa came up to say Asari Dokubo and Uwazuruike conspired and brought in Kanu from camp. I made a video. I said that was lies. Asari Dokubo also said, yes, he did it, but not with Uwazuruike. That if you want to accuse, you should accuse him. So please, I want to tell you people, separate me from anything Asari Dokubo. I think that's what you want to hear. And that is the perfect truth. I don't even have Asari Dokubo's number on my phone now. For the past 3 years, I've not spoken with Asari Dokubo. Ask him. We don't talk. So if you have any problem with Asari Dokubo, go and sort it out with him. And he has always told you that. I heard him say it in the social media, that you should come and fight him if you can. You have guns, he has guns. He shows his own. Kuro brandishes it on social media. He's not hiding it. Why not face somebody who is facing you? And I said, Uwazuruike, should Uwazuruike do your fight? I'm a non-violent crusader, known all over the world for non-violence. I remember the day I was speaking with Rap Bonche. I was on this seat when he called me to say that the world knows me for non-violence. As an American, the Secretary General of UNPO. I never knew him before then. I'm recognized as a non-violent crusader all over the world. So don't blackmail me. If you have any issue with that,
those who are joining us from the other platform where we join right now, kindly share the video, invite others to join. Where when you are joining us from the other platform, share the videos, invite others to join while you are joining. Because we have extended the broadcast to Judge Money Official and Judge Money /TV. So let's continue.
He's ready to face you. Don't bring in Uwazuruike. Right from the word go, around the year 2000 or so, I was in Port Harcourt for about a year consulting the Niger Delta people. I met Asari Dokubo. He told me that he doesn't believe in non-violence. He told me that something like Biafra or something shouldn't come through non-violence. That Nigerians hear only one word, and that's the language of force. That's what he told me.
Asari Dokubo told him that he doesn't believe in non-violence. Asari Dokubo told Uwazuruike he does not believe in non-violence. And Uwazuruike he claimed that he was declared a non-violent crusader. But Asari Dokubo does not believe in non-violence. So Asari Dokubo has been violent. Anybody that insults Asari Dokubo, anybody that does anything that Asari Dokubo does not like, what Asari Dokubo will actually resolve to is violence. And that same violence is what Asari Dokubo has been using to kill our people in Imo State, kill our people in Olu, kill our people in everywhere in Biafraland, in Ebonyi State, in the name of Ebubago. Asari Dokubo does not believe in non-violence. Asari Dokubo is the one who said to Uwazuruike that he does not believe in non-violence. That to get Biafra, Biafra must be violent. Yet Asari Dokubo came to say that we are violent. Asari Dokubo came to say we are violent. Therefore, he will bring his criminals to come and kill IPOBs, to come and kill people, even when we are not violent, because Asari Dokubo Mujahid is the one working for the terrorist called Fulani organization in order to eliminate those who have discovered themselves, those who have discovered that there is nothing for them in Nigeria, so that they will sideline you, they will kill you, so that you will not have any other person confidently to come up and speak and challenge the status quo. That is exactly what Asari Dokubo is doing. If Asari Dokubo could say that he does not believe in non-violent agitation, then what is Asari Dokubo? Why is he killing our people, claiming that they are violent? Why is he killing our people, claiming that they are violent? Brandishing gun, as Uwazuruike said it, he was showing his gun, brandishing gun on the Facebook in public domain. A man who is not a military force, a man who is not seen as anything in Nigeria, brandishing AK-47, brandishing I believe G4, brandishing it, or I think G3 in the public domain in front of the whole world, using it to threaten our people. He did not just offer a word of threat. He brandished gun, showed the world the gun that he is using to kill our people. Yet the DSS did not rise up to go out there to question Asari Dokubo as per who are you? Why are you wielding gun? Why are you threatening people with gun? Why are you threatening citizens of the so-called Nigeria with gun? Nobody questioned him. Asari Dokubo wadauliwe jenga. Asari Dokubo is bigger than the government. Asari Dokubo is bigger than the DSS. Asari Dokubo is bigger than the military. That is the reason why he actually came up boldly and undermine the military by saying that militaries are the ones stealing oil in Biafraland, when militaries are just mere people who are actually protecting the oil thieves. Why can't he actually expose the oil thieves instead of talking about those working for the oil thieves? Is that exposition? So many of you were clapping for him, believing that Asari Dokubo is exposing the ignorance of or the criminality in Nigeria, to the extent for you to see that the man you have in Asar is a mafia. He is running a mafia state. That's why he could, seeing the history of Asari Dokubo, knowing whom Asari Dokubo is, he brought Asari Dokubo in Asarville, created a war room, made Asari Dokubo the board chairman of this war room that he has created. That's what this your mafia president did. Nobody is questioning. No organization in Nigeria is questioning it. No NGO in Nigeria is questioning it. Nothing. Everybody is actually silent. Silent as dead people. A blind man that leaded the blind will always lead them into the ditch. That is exactly where they are leading you into. A bloody civilian in Nigeria, where the almighty military cannot even stand somebody wearing a camouflage. Once you wear a camouflage in Nigeria, the military will actually blend you. The military will torture you. The military will deal with you. Talk more of actually challenging the military. The same military did not react. Remember, these same militaries are the ones we always say, they are military trained. These are military. They are very quick in anger. They are very aggressive. You know, they will slap you. They will put you in the mud. They will do this. They will do that. It is the same military that you have been seeing that is uncontrollable. They can't control them. That's why they go into the Biafraland. They burn houses, kill people. They go because they are so aggressive. These people are like lions. They are so aggressive. No one can control them. The same military that Asari Dokubo undermined their strategy. The same military that Asari Dokubo actually undermined their integrity. Have you now seen that running, beating around the bush, going everywhere to find a way to, to put a blemish on IPOB? Have you now seen that you are actually proving that everything IPOB and this Biafra movement is doing and talking about, it is actually factual information. We don't lie. When we tell you that militaries are doing illegal activities, it is so. But the same Asari Dokubo, when we were talking about this police brutality, military brutality, the same Asari Dokubo descended on our people, killing them for the sake of exposing the atrocities of these same people. Today, Asari Dokubo came out to challenge the status quo of military formation in Nigeria without being questioned, without actually no one challenging him. Some people who are ex-militaries, they come and made media statements. No one said anything. Have you now seen that Asari Dokubo said that what you have in Nigeria, they are criminals, not military. They are criminals, not military. And the same people who are criminals are the same people that are going about killing our people. Asari Dokubo also said that this same military, they have resources to fight insurgency and Boko Haram and the terrorists. But they were not doing it. Why were they not doing it? So if they were not doing it, why on earth is Asari Dokubo so angry that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu created Eastern Security Network to do the job that the military could not do? The same job he's claiming that he is doing right now. Who did this to us? And some of all these Igbo government, Igbo governors, some of all these coastal region governors, they are believing this Asari Dokubo. They are believing people, these evil governors who are in our land, killing for Fulani, their master. And at the end of the day, they believe that what we are saying is a lie. Where are the clandestines? Where are these NGOs? Where are the international communities? They will be nowhere to, they are nowhere to be found, because it concerns these people who are calling for emancipation and the total liberation of our people against this imperial power that is actually being controlled through Fulani feudal system. That is exactly what we are fighting against These people are not giving us a breathing space. They have joined its new elected or new selected governor of Enugu State to kill our people. Let us continue to hear what Uwazuruike is saying. Because I believe I've seen here Uwazuruike is trying to be politically correct in whatever he is saying here. And I don't know why. Of course, we exposed him when he was working with Asari Dokubo. I exposed them when they were working with Eperima in Finland. They believe they will use Eperima in Finland to get their revenge. They don't know that Eperima in Finland is his own thing is coming from high places. They didn't know that his own calling is coming from the high places of this, Western agenda. They didn't realize that. They realized it so late. By the time they realized that this guy is not actually going to dance the same way they are dancing, they started exposing what exactly he is doing. They all run out to start exposing what Eperima is doing. Asari Dokubo ran to say, because it is all about money. Eperima cannot produce the amount of money that will keep them in check. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the problem Asari had with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it was a problem of money. Because Asari Dokubo cannot feed his 21 children without exploiting others. Anything that you see Asari Dokubo join, he is joining it for the sake of the benefit he is going to get from there. He is not joining it for the sake of patriotism. He is not joining it for the sake of anything that is beneficial to other people. He is joining it for the sake of what he is going to achieve from there. And that is exactly what Asari Dokubo is been doing. Any organization that is newly formed, Asari Dokubo will make himself, will be peeping. Eperima in Finland could not give him what exactly what he desired. That is the reason why he came to tell you that he did a military coup. Because they thought Eperima would give them what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu could not give them. But they didn't know that Eperima in Finland know who they are since. They didn't know that this young man has been suffering over 17 years, living in Finland, have nothing to write home about him, nothing to write home about him. He was just living in Finland, knowing how to, use the system in Finland to belong in Finland, nowhere else. That's the only thing that made him look as if he is there. He was just able to use the system he found in Finland to bring himself to belong to the system, to be participant of the system, which anybody who is wise enough in every place where you are, you can equally do the same thing. It's just that our people are always absent because maybe they believe, they are not legal, or they are doing one or two things that is not, supposed to be done, or, our people, I don't know, they isolate themselves from the system for no reason. I don't know what possibly could be the reason why they isolate themselves from the system. But those who realize it, that is the reason why he used all that to actually come and present himself and exploiting so many idiots that is among us. And that is exactly the reason why he is actually profiting today, to the extent of going to, make a video, put a gun sound in the video. After the video, it brought military that was killed, I think even in Sambisa forest, that was killed, and the military men were taking the video, crying. They brought it and said that it is landing woto on the military. Speaking, I can easily bring any video. If I want this as Uwazuruike's video, I can bring it and I will be speaking. Uwazuruike's mouth will be moving. You won't be hearing Uwazuruike's voice. You will be hearing my own voice. When he depicted something like that, when he did something like that with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's photo, saying that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said he has spoken so eloquently, he spoke my mind. I actually did the same thing, showed you that thing that I did using artificial intelligence. It is still in my page, where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, even with his prison regalia, speaking. And it is all about you feeding that what it needs to say. You have seen artificial intelligence all over the place. That was the same thing this criminal used for you. It's just because you forget so quickly. You idiots in our midst, you forget so quickly. And that is exactly the reason why these people will continue to exploit you. Asari Dokubo, Simon could not actually, he could not maintain him. That's why he was able to come out to tell you that this criminal has overthrown Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And that is exactly the game they planned. But they could not keep it up because the money was not coming the way they expect. Or he is not releasing the money the way they expect him to release it. They wanted to use Asari Dokubo's boys to truncate election in Biafraland. I did that exposition that the plan was to make sure that, shouting no election, no election, no election. They tried to use themselves to truncate election in Biafraland, to blame it on IPOB. But little did they know that he that is in IPOB is greater than they that is in the world. And that is exactly what has been keeping us going, because it is a mandate of heaven. And we are going to be holistic about it. I am telling you, if we are not holistic about preaching for this Biafra freedom, if you are actually censoring what you need to preach because you might hurt somebody's feelings, believe you me, you are not yet ready to fight for freedom. If you are going to be censoring what you need to say because you are going to say, hurt my feelings because I believe in this native doctor, or I believe in this whatever, or this pastor. No, you are actually shooting yourselves in the leg. But we are coming there. Let us finalize what Uwazuruike said here. Let us listen to him further, and we will go to something else.
He has never worked with me on that platform of non-violence because he told me he doesn't believe in that. And when he was doing the struggle for Niger Delta, he was not adopting non-violence. He was using arms and ammunition. You saw him. And up to today, when he talks, he shows you that. So why should you include Uwazuruike? And someone is saying he has it on good information that Uwazuruike is aligning with Asari Dokubo to kill Ndigo, because you want to create a followership on your platform by telling lies, putting Uwazuruike's name. And if you say it, Uwazuruike must talk. If you have evidence, bring it now. By telling lies, putting Uwazuruike's name. And
Number one is that Uwazuruike, in as much as you are denying not working with Asari Dokubo, in as much as you are denying all these things that are happening, it's just because I don't want to go hard on you because I'm beginning to like you. It is not because I'm not liking you for the sake of what you did in the past, but for the sake of what you are trying to do right now. For the sake that you understand you are a very, very intelligent man. You know what time is it. That is exactly the reason why I am beginning to have a regard for you. But in a situation like this, I need to actually tell you, Uwazuruike, you were part of this conspiracy. Regardless of you, actually, whatever that is, you are part of this conspiracy that is actually making these people to undermine our people. You were part of it. But if you are changing for real, bygone might become a bygone for the sake of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that actually, came from your own structure. For the sake that you have given us Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, will I say, or you made the road ready for him. You announced him. That is the only reason why I'm beginning to have regard for you. But the truth must be told. You were part of this conspiracy. It is just that it is biting everybody now. It is just that you can understand because you are a pan-Biafran or you are a pan-Igbo. Regardless of what material things can do to a black person who has never had opportunities a lot in their lives, because that is the only thing that these people, neo-colonialists, they found as a weakness, as a weapon. They never made as resources available for us. They make sure that they teach our parents to tell us opportunity comes but once. So when this opportunity comes, so many of us embrace it without looking back. Who am I going to betray? Who is looking up to me that if I grab this opportunity, it is going to hurt them? We are not looking back to see that. All we are looking forward to, what is going to make you greater than the other person? That has been the problem that our people are having. You were part of this conspiracy. And the reason why you cannot speak as a lion that you were, it is because you were part of the conspiracy. Believe you me. You were part of the conspiracy. It is right now that you are realizing that, no, the only reason why whatever Uwazuruike do, at some point, we will give him a fair hearing. It is because, for the sake that it was through you that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu actually picked up from where you left off. It is something that can never be forgotten in Biafra struggle. Facebook will continue to kick you out. If Facebook kick you out, kick yourself back up, because they will continue to do it. While you bring yourself back up, continue to share the video. So, it is very, very necessary for you, Asar Uwazuruike, to seek for restitution and seek for retribution as well. The time is still early, and I believe that it is what you are trying to do. But the mess you made in the past, you don't know how to actually bring yourself out of it. And that is the reason why, Uwazuruike, I know how you speak about things, how you handle things. It is not the way you speak, because now you know that you are captured in this mess. You your energy, your money, or anything, you put your word into this conspiracy against our people. That is actually backbiting our people. That is biting everybody now, not only you. That is undermining the race where you, as supposed to be a lion, came from. But let us continue to listen to you. That is the reason why I said that whatever he was saying, it is actually political. His response is more political than realistic. But let us continue to listen to Uwazuruike.
There had one man who says he's a prophet came up to say Uwazuruike has a stroke because Uwazuruike had not been talking. You push, you respect me. I'm not your mate. You see, in all these things, this distraction. At a certain point, we agreed that there were so many rancors in the struggle for Biafra that we should all come together, have an umbrella platform for Biafrans. Then they formed the de facto government.
That one of prophecy and all that, we remember it and we are aware of it. The one we remember it. So, well, let's continue.
I said, anything together is fine. I believe in it. But when we came together, I saw the purpose was to criticize Nnamdi Kanu every day. I said, no. I won't be part of it. I left. Since then, I've never spoken to any of them. By phone, by any means. I don't have time. I'm very busy. So if you have any problem with anybody, I can't be speaking every time on things that are not important. Of late, I've been talking about Nnamdi Kanu's release. And that's what I think is important. It should be important to any Biafran organization. If you are truly talking about Biafra, no matter any internal problem we have, if one of us is held, all of us are held. If one of us is detained, all of us are detained. I cannot, because I had some misunderstanding with him some time ago. If he's incarcerated, I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that he's released. I begin to ask myself, if Ojukwu were alive and this situation happens, what will he do? He will fight for the person. And I represent Ojukwu today because he handed over the struggle for Biafra to me. So anybody in this struggle today is under me. I should fight for the person more than any other person. And of course, that's why you always tag me, you always put me in my name, because you know the importance of Uwazuruike in the Biafra struggle, the new Biafra struggle. Because naturally, I cannot talk about it. I cannot wake up to start discussing you.
Uwazuruike said that everybody in the struggle is under him. Ojukwu handed over the struggle to you. We concur with you. But what did you do with the struggle? You actually betrayed the struggle. But that is, by the way, nobody is under you. You have done your best, how you could. Now you have derailed. So now you are seeking for, restitution. So nobody is under you. Nobody is under you. Because now, as long as you have actually defaulted, you are no longer in charge. You are no longer in charge. We have Mazen Nnamdi Kanu today, who is our leader. His inspiration and aspiration drew everyone closer and bring people so close to each other that we now started understanding the value of love for our people. We now are now having the quality of loving our people. There is love in IPOB, if I may tell you. The real people who are fighting for this freedom in IPOB, there is love among them. Envy is there, but envy is something that is normal in every human being. Envy that does not have evil eyes is actually normal. That is something that we need to understand. As long as you have actually tried your best, you will be remembered for the best you have tried. And you will also be remembered for the defaulting from this struggle. It is a mark that can never be erased, regardless of what you do in future. That is the reason why people will say, I can forgive you, but I can never forget. Because it is a mark that will never be erased. So let us continue. You are not in charge. Nobody is under you. You ruin it for you. You cannot eat your cake and still have it. So let us continue.
Attacking you. I don't know you. I begin to ask myself, why must a court of competent jurisdiction ask that Nnamdi Kanu be released and is still in detention? Why must people like Ohaneze, people like me, people like the governors ask for his release and he's still detained? That's what worries me, not distractions of what an individual said, what he did not.
The reason why people like you, people like Ohaneze, people like all these people will ask for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu released and he is still detained is one way or the other. Both you, both Ohaneze, both all these people who ask for his release, they have once in their lifetime become, done the dirty for Fulani against their own people. So when Fulani could command people to do this, do that, push them from pillar to post, do the dirty for us, why do you think a slave will rise up to actually give instruction to the master? That has been, that is the problem of our people. You cannot be under somebody and you are instructing them to do something. They have to instruct you because you made yourself to be inferior before this Fulani Caliphate. You compromised. Instead of being on equal yoke, with them in the discharging of power in Nigeria, otherwise you go your way. That is because you are compromising your position in order to make sure that they do not get angry with you, to make sure that they are the ones that are actually distributing the power. They are the ones disseminating the power. Who must it go to? Who will be their stooge? Just like the big world, they will be, promoting. If you look at what is happening in Ukraine today, all this while that Ukraine has been on their own, Russia has been actually sponsoring the campaign, the election in the leaderships, who put in their own people there. But now, the US managed to put their own person there. That is exactly when this thing began to look bad. Because now, whoever that controls you, whoever that actually give you power, controls you. That's exactly what has been happening in Nigeria between these people who are supposed to be the lion and the Fulani, or whether it's outside you call them. That has been the way it should be. That is what is happening. When these people are supposed to be on top, supposed to be in charge, because your resources is the reason why this Fulani is actually embracing this relationship that is symbiotic between you and them. That is because of this, your resources. This Fulani are embracing your relationship by fire, by force, no matter how much they have hated you. Regardless of how much they have hated you, they are forcing the relationship because they know without you, without what is coming from your land, there will be nothing like these people, Sultan of Sokoto. There will be nothing like this Fulani force. You will not see any control of Fulani. Who are they going to control? They will only control their fellow caliphate. They will not extend their control to our borders. But because so many of you decided to capitulate, so many of you decided to sell your dignity, just like so many people who are so-called billionaires who stole from their own people today, who are not political class. Of course, so many of you, they are politically, they are politicians' friends. That's why they are rich. So many of them, if you know somebody who work for their money, believe you me, you will know. But so many billionaires in Biafraland, they never work for their money. They were friends to politicians. They committed one atrocity to other against their own people. That's why they were rich. That's why if you know who work for their money and become a billionaire, if you see them, you will know them. By their fruit, you will know them. You have seen the same way you see one of your millionaire going to actually consolidate with MC Olomo, who is victimizing your people, taking away their means of livelihood. You are going to consolidate with them. To hell with that person. If they are billionaires and millionaires, they wouldn't do such things, but they have shown you how are they making their money. These are the things we need to continue to question. That is the reason why I continue to tell you that in Biafraland or in the zoo country called Nigeria or in Africa in extension, anything called capitalism, it is not going to work because we are power intoxicated. Whenever we see power, we get intoxicated. Imagine you are the capitalist. You are the ones who is controlling businesses. You are the one CEO employing people. You are the one who will make a statement, the president will start shaking. Imagine you will be toppling on people's rights. You will not even understand the labor laws that, that controls the corporate space. Or business space. You will not understand them anymore. You will violate them because you are a black man. You are power intoxicated. And you will do everything in order to benefit you. You can even sell your own people. But the real capitalists, they do everything to benefit them and their own people back home. That is the reason why when they come in, they make sure they bring out money to make sure they sabotage state-owned enterprises. So that they will buy it off, they will rescue them, they will take care of them to make sure that they are the ones giving you employment. So in all these things, you should understand that power intoxication is is a bad business, a bad belly. And this power intoxication, it is always working against your own people. Not other people, against your own people. That's why capitalism will not work. And that is exactly what they are displaying in Nigeria. When a person is rich, they will never want any other person to see the light. Especially in Biafraland. That is the reason why Hope Uzodinma is killing you. They wouldn't want you to challenge them. They wouldn't want you to know your right. They wouldn't want you to actually know that police cannot come out and take your phone. They wouldn't want you to know that police cannot just slap you anyhow without you doing nothing. They wouldn't want you to know that you cannot be taken into custody for more than 48 hours without presenting your case to the court of law or before the magistrate. They cannot do that. So whenever you start to understand these things, you become the enemy of the state because of power intoxication. And those people who created the country, these are the type of things they created. So that by the time you realize these people are already very used to their respect. If you try to violate whatever that gives them that respect, police brutality come in. Army brutality comes in. DSS brutality comes in. Toppling of your human right, infringement to your human right comes in. So have you seen now that they are waiting for you from every corner? Power intoxication of our people. That is the reason why they will speak, that they will say that they went to ask these people to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. How can you, as a person who is serving these people, decide to give them order? No, all of these people who went to ask for these things, they have served Fulani one way or the other. That's why I continue to say, you cannot eat your cake and still have them. Let's continue.
That doesn't bother me. The Supreme Court has taken adjournment for 4 months, citing the election. The election today is at the Court of Appeal. Presidential election, not at the Supreme Court. And people didn't see the snag the game plan in it. Now you are talking irrelevant things, discussing irrelevant issues. If the Supreme Court thought election would distract them, why not ask that Nnamdi Kanu be transferred to correctional center? Then we finish with our election. What is the Supreme Court doing today? They are not doing anything. Because after the Court of Appeal has finished its own part, that will go to the Supreme Court. If there is need for that. But that they use it as excuse to take 4 months adjournment. DSS dungeon is not where someone should stay. I have been there for 6 months, and that 6 months was like 10 years. Because it's solitary confinement. It's against the law. In law, there's a limit to which one could be kept in solitary confinement. Not this longer length of time. It doesn't worry your people. What worries your people is gossip on the social media, blackmail, propaganda, nonsense. Don't put my name there. Do your propaganda. I will never come out to challenge you on the methodology you want to use to achieve Biafra. If you want violence, you think Biafra could be gotten through violence, go ahead. But Uwazuruike says Biafra could be gotten through non-violence, and I stand by it. Don't incommode me.
Oh, Uwazuruike have spoken again. Uwazuruike have spoken again. Uwazuruike obuzukwaguwa na-ekwu ife a. You will never ever disturb anybody in the methodology they want to use in fighting for Biafra. Obuzukwagi na-ekwu nke Uwazuruike. What happened? Because what happened? What happened? Is Uwazuruike real, or is Uwazuruike, playing another game, or set gonya ga amatali anu? But in ikpeazụ ụsụ ka ha ọnyafa na-amatazi ụsụ na-ayị ala, ọ bụrụ the ordinary ụsụ na ọnyafa na-amatazi ụsụ na-ayị ala. When they set a trap for the Fulani feudal system, they set this trap, and at the end of the day they will come back and cry because ọnyafa na-amatazi if it gets them a bat, a mad bat, the bat that is mad. Because for Uwazuruike to be speaking in this manner, two things are involved. It's either he is actually attracting something, or is expecting something to be, he's expecting to be recognized somehow by the government or the upcoming government, so that they will bring him to mellow down, or that he is seeking for restitution. But I am actually positive that he is setting a trap. For Uwazuruike to open his mouth, Uwazuruike, I have many things you have said against IPOB. We don't forget, we archive those things, that they are creating violence, they are doing this, they are doing that. Why all of a sudden now, Uwazuruike? You know why? The most important thing is these people need to actually be sincere. They need to be sincere. Just a while ago, I said that I am liking this guy. But now, I began to realize, because I said, no, I began to realize, my spirit is telling me right now that Uwazuruike is targeting something. What is targeting, we don't know. But let's see. I just hope it is a lie. I just hope he is actually going back to where he left off. I just hope. But the most important thing is that I believe he's a smart man. He knows what time is it. Table will turn. That's something that people who are ignorant, I say that na ijijina da anuye na eso zwana. Table will turn somehow. And when this table turn, all these evildoers, they will not stand a chance. Maybe some of them will not even stand a chance for trial. So, I am actually calling on you for the sake of love I have for my people, Uwazuruike. If you are actually coming out this time, make sure you are coming out clean. Make sure you don't use your speeches to attract these people, because that's exactly what you guys are doing. When any governor or any ex-governor want to attract Fulani to call them in order, come and take this contract, they will start talking. Where is Ezife today? Ezife say if they deny you Igbo presidency, you know that they will assume that we are not belonging to this country. Where is he today? Is he still talking? Maybe in Achogoli and Koneli. We are aware of all that. We are not stupid. We just wish that we can carry everybody along. We just wish that everybody will join force. We just wish that we cannot leave anybody behind. We just wish that our people will stop deceiving themselves. It is our wish because we love our people. We are passionate about actually taking everybody along in order to achieve our freedom. But in a situation whereby you are playing games, when rapture take place, it is going to be a bad business for you. Our people are dying, not because they committed a crime. Our people are dying, not because they deserve to die. Our people are dying, not because they stole from the bank or from the government, but because they are demanding for what is rightfully theirs. It is very simple of what IPOB is calling for. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in a solitary confinement where you said you spent 6 months. It looked like you spent 10 years because of how bad that place is. I know how Nigerian, inside is. I know this condition of people who are in Nigeria, cells or dungeon or anywhere. I know. I have seen them. So, that is where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been for 2 years plus. And these people who have already, violated their dignity, acting as if they are calling for Fulani to release our leader. We know all of them. The only man I could say that actually really wanted Mazen Nnamdi Kanu released, I can say if I want to think about it, I will put Soludo in the picture. I would put Soludo in the picture if I want to think about it. Ojuzo Kalu just started saying Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be released. You know why? Ojuzo Kalu wanted a position in the Red Chamber, so that they will realize, they will recognize him. Immediately when they tell him, keep quiet, we will give you position. Nobody else, you are the most qualified. Ojuzo Kalu, keep quiet. They think we don't know all these things. They are using us. They are using Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They are using our struggle for a bid for political position. But at the end of the day, igwe niile ga-ejege n'ụzọ agbacha ọsọ agụọ mile, you will give account. Because when there is no more Fulani there, it is between you and your people. Agbatarian also. Agbatarian also. Ijebili Europe. When your children come back, we will deal with your children until you make yourself available. Because it is other people's children that you people are killing without any cause. It is other people's children that you people are actually killing. People's husband, people's uncles, people's father, people's son. That's what you people are killing. In the name that you want to please Fulani to give you political post or political position. It will not go, without punishment. It will never go without a consequences, regardless of how long that consequences will take to arrive. I am going to leave this Uwazuruike behind here because I have picked up something that is very, very important to understand what exactly is Uwazuruike up to. I've been trying to find out, but I'm happy that I have found out today. And that is the reason why he is vocal about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you for being vocal about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I appreciate it. Of being vocal about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu so that they will look for some place and fix you. You are deceiving yourself. You are still going to be fly by night. But let me finalize the video. I think it is finished.
I don't believe in all these talk and bull stories. I have things I'm working out for. If the whole of Ohanese and prominent Igbo sons and daughters ask for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government couldn't grant it, then what they could grant is an individual who says Nnamdi Kanu should not be released. Then we look at them now. If Asari Dokubo goes to Abuja to say Nnamdi Kanu should not be granted bail or should not be released, his opinion cannot outweigh or torpedo the opinions of all of us, both Ohanese. Good evening, everyone. As always, people have been asking me, wanting to know my position on the.
I think the piece that I have, it is not all the video though, but this is the piece that I have, and that piece is actually concluded. So, as it is concluded, this is exactly what we have of Asari Dokubo. What he said last, he said that if those people from the land of Biafra, Ohanese, and him himself and all that could call for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and they refuse because one man called Asari Dokubo, who believe in violence, called for Nnamdi Kanu not to be released, and they agree with him. He said, let them be. That is exactly what he is saying. That if the government will listen to the man called Asari Dokubo, instead of listening to them, this is how these people roll. This is how these people roll. Asari Dokubo, when he wanted which position he is fighting for, He is now. It was when he started saying joining IPOB. He joined IPOB because he is actually targeting something from this Fulani government. He started saying, Biafra is the way. Anybody who does not believe in Biafra, that person is stupid. Anybody who does not believe in Nnamdi Kanu, that person is, you have a problem. That young man is doing great job. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a good man. You must follow him. If you don't agree with him, don't be against him. You will ask yourself today, is it this same man? Just because, that thing happened. When that thing happened, though, remember that this Asari Dokubo did not, when they had this issue, Asari Dokubo did not come out to, he didn't come out in the open to actually talk about it much, because what he was fighting for is not actualized yet. It was immediately when he saw green light towards the reason why he was agitating. Because they know that for you to get attention of Fulani, you join your people in agitation. Once you get the attention of Fulani, you give, you just give your people, you tell them, screw you, man. Silently. You go back against them immediately. So that is exactly how these people stage their protest against this Fulani. They will come and act as if they are with your people. Then so many of you who will get carried away, who have no discernment, who does not have any spirit of discernment, you will see these people, you will say, no, these people, they are doing great job, they have changed. Just like Nwike, when he started talking like Oyana Bokokin. Obocha cocaine or Biane Zuzuel. Nwike is a drug addict, a Kai man. Ongusia Kai, he said that he was poisoned by Atiku recently. He said that he was poisoned by Atiku recently. All these people, they went ahead when they were acting like he was fighting with Asari Dokubo. Under Nwike's watch, Nwike worked with Asari Dokubo to kill our people in Obibo. This type of politics that these people are playing, Nwike think he is intelligent. He might be stupid, he might be criminally clever, but he is actually, he don't understand that what goes up will surely come down. He's claiming that they poisoned him. But that is a very, very small issue, because they will, the more things are still yet to come. He claimed that Atiku and his people poisoned him. Atiku and his people now responded to Nwike, telling Nwike, it is your drunkardness. You poisoned yourself with your drunkardness. Oh, wow. All these people are going to experience what they have put our people through. And that is the reality of it. That is the fact of it. Now, you will understand that while your people, African leaders, were in France for the financial something summit, while African leaders were busy actually representing their nations, making sure that they speak their mind, you know what happened? Your leader, your Tinubu, was having a hug with the president of France. If you look around you, you will understand that the French president is all around Africa, looking for where he will, because the power is there is a paradigm shift in his controlled territories in Africa. They are all around looking for who will be their victim next. Who will do people are busy challenging the status quo. Your president is busy marking him, hugging him, acting boys. That is the reason why he was not in the summit. Because he cannot challenge the status quo. And that is the reason why he does not know what to say. He is somebody that does not know what to say. Like I always tell you, people will always say that when we criticize the age of our leaders in Africa, people will say, what about the leaders in the US? I told you, those people are conservatives. These people, they understand the culture of America, and they will always look for those who will understand the culture of America. And if they are not those people, what they will look for is people like Obama for a special task. So the most important thing that you will understand is that they need these conservatives in order to understand the history and what makes America great. That's why they are old. It is not because they are enjoying it, but it is those who understand the status quo. Now you adopt it, you give somebody who is forgetful a presidential position. What for? For goodness sake. What for? What are they going to do? For goodness sake for you. If not this joke you people are cracking all over the place in the position of power across African countries. It is a joke that you people are. The world will be laughing at you. A president who cannot, when he went to Chatham House, they asked him question. He gave it to other people to answer. Yeah, you answer this one, answer that one. You think it is a joke. He's just using Gaiman level. It is not where he couldn't do such thing in Paris. He could not do such thing. Very soon, hunger program is going to come. Maybe Chetima, of course, they might send their foreign relation to go and represent you. Very soon, this education summit will come. Who is going to represent you? You are going to be represented by delegates. And that is exactly what some of you called for. Those of you who cannot tell yourself a simple truth, ruining your future, and the future of the young generation that you are ruining, you will not be part of it. Why then ruin it for them? Why then ruin it for them? These people, they are leading you without having anything to offer. They are just there for the sake of occupying the office. You cannot see it. You cannot see it. If you see people whom you think there is something in their brain, in the social media, in the public domain, they are defending this arrogancy. They are defending this evil. These are the people from their lineage. These are the same people who are selling you. They sell you out. We are in the era of neo-slavery. Evil people, they seek for what they are going to get. There is this idiot who wear Arab something on his head. He was fighting for Biafra. Today, so many of them. But anya no ga fifa anya no for very soon. Very, very soon, the day of reckoning, it is going to be like a movie. And it is going to affect everybody. This is not going to be, it is only this family that it is going to affect everybody. Let me see if there is still something that I need to, talk about before we go to our program that we need to talk about. Of course, Asari Dokubo actually came back. He came back and he started na attack Anuofia. That is the same place where you will find this picture that is lower here. Na attack Anuofia, talking rubbish. I didn't even have time to listen to him because that guy is disgusting, man. You know, I pity women. So let me go straight to what I want to do. There is a video that I observed from Mazi Metusela on that the program he did, and there was somebody who called in. I don't want to miss the name of that comrade. Let me actually bring that.
It means a lot of things. Yesterday night, our lovely brother Mazi Jonathan had
Okay.
call out, even though I manage his voice, I think he's cracking better.
Let me see.
Because you have this.
There is
no
a.
matter how I castigate is worshiping a white man, and he said, and then I say, I am the version. One another, and we're going to do it today.
There is a path in this program that I want to actually bring to you. There is something I want to talk about here.
We're going to engage. Abosu in Igbo land. I never think if it back. So if I see as an ending, that would be.
Okay, not this person.
His will must be done. That's my belief in life. I said, let me just thank you. Let me thank you in a very great way, and at the same time, Biafra also recognize their job in this struggle. Very, very gingerly.
Let me see if it is this one.
We did it together because without you and me and others, I don't think we have gotten so far. I want to ask you, do you know, because of what is going on now, you know, in every movement there must be disagree to agree. Does not mean that we are having problems with one another. Doesn't mean that we are enemy.
Of course.
We are our own goal. We know our goal. We know what we are saying. But just that we are seeing obstacles on the way and we cannot just shy away from it. I want to ask you on this issue of religion that has been going on for a part of a couple of months now. What can you say about it? Do you think it's bringing division among this struggle? And if it's bringing division, what do you think is the best approach to follow it so that those of us who don't have the same mental capability like us can be able to, you know, grab seats so that they will not see as if we are attacking them. You know, so that let them begin to see the reason why we are doing this. Because it's not just only us. If you watch out, you can see that this is just a revolution that is coming. It's not just only limited to Biafran struggle. Other African countries are also rising up. So the floor is yours, and I'm online. Let me not take you on hours. I'm online. I'm on live program. Okay, you are on air. I'm on air. Yes, I'm on air. Sorry for not.
I think it's the one.
I'm on air, and the world is hearing you. I just want to give you 10 minutes to give us your content. Okay. Well, because we are on air, let's take it apart from our listeners. But in truth, it is I've never taken a path for me. Distraction. Why I call it a distraction is because in every development there are stages. And I think you first of all get, then you can not dedicate the second. But let me view the campaign by telling everyone listening that religion is a state tool, is a tool of the state. Whether you call it a modern state system, nation state system, or you call it during the time of empire, when there is no state, nation state system, the way we have it today. What is most important is that every religion that is being operated in any society is geared at advancing that state or that society. Let me give you an instance. When the English people discovered that the Universal Church or the Roman Catholic Church was gathering all the offerings all over the world and dumping in Rome, and it was benefiting the Roman economy, the Italian economy. They formed their own Anglo Church, what we know today as Anglican. Because they want to make sure that the revenue
that is correct
and their colonies does not go to Italy. So it was for economic purpose and for identity uniqueness. When the Americans also came up and discovered that both the Catholic Church and the Anglo Church, which is Anglican, was also remitting all the revenue to Italy and England. Yes. They formed a Protestant church. In fact, the English people call them Protestants. I'm aware. That they were protesting against the economy that they were enjoying. And that was how it keep on going into what we have today, even in Nigeria. But everybody will hide and tell that Holy Ghost told him. So I don't have issue with whatever somebody believes in. It doesn't mean for me. But as far as this problem is concerned, discussing religion, if you don't discover, if you don't take it up with the teacher people, you might end up thinking or discover your personal relevancy without knowing yourself on cook. I personally, this is my personal submission. I believe that when the Biafran comes, the state or the structure of the state will come up with a belief system. That does not mean that any other form of religion cannot operate in Biafra. In Russia today, Russia have what they call Russian Orthodox Church. If you watch what happened a few days in Russia, the highest man, they don't pray, it looks similar like Catholic Church, but they don't recognize the Pope in Italy because for them, the name priority for them to.
There is something he said here. Therefore, I don't want us to digest it too much because I like to, take it and respond to it accordingly. This is our comrade who is also doing a great job online. But there is something, the Bible said, iron sharpeneth iron. And that is the reason why I believe Mazi Methuselah started this program that he called the Media Warriors. Like I said, he caught me off guard when he called me. I didn't know. It was actually the first time I am speaking with him on the phone. I also spoke on this program, but what I observed, because I was watching this program earlier on, and I listened to Elochukwu. I believe his name is Mazi Elochukwu Ohagi. And then he acknowledged the fact that our people are destroyed for lack of information or knowledge. He acknowledged the fact that there is something wrong with the doctrine our people are following. There is something that is fundamentally wrong with what our people are following. But now, where I have a problem with what he said here, not with him, what he said here was where he said that you might be chasing irrelevance or promoting irrelevance without knowing that you are shooting yourself on the foot. That's what he mean. He meant that it is not actually what we need to be talking about. That there is time for everything. And he also went ahead to say, when the Biafra comes, the state will select which religion they want to actually champion. Now, let me come in here. My comrade, I understand, I don't know if you read political science. Mazi Elochukwu, I don't know if you studied political science, because whenever you speak mostly in the aspect of, a political scientist. I don't know if you studied political analyst. I don't know whatever, or I don't know what route you are actually riding on, but whenever you speak, you are more political than being realistic. Whenever you bring out suggestion like this, And I want to assure you, I want to actually make you to understand that our Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who actually made all of us to gather here, he does not actually appreciate political correctness. And that is exactly the reason why we are all here today. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it is not that he does not appreciate political correctness. It is not because he is perfect. It is not because everything he does supposed to be top-notch or correct. But the most important thing that we need to acknowledge and understand is that for you to mind emancipate our people, you don't need to be politically correct. You don't need to beat around the bush. We are, so many of us who are actually exposed to politics. So many of us who are actually exposed to, to be diplomatic correct. I can assure you, it is not in this type of our struggle. But in this regard, why do you want to postpone your problem? That you know that this will always be a problem. Anytime you bring it up, you postpone it towards our nation building. When our nation building comes in, we are going to be there now fighting ourselves. We don't want this religion, that religion, this one, that one. Why can't we treat it while we are still in awareness campaign? Why can't we talk about these problems now? Because you actually said that it is not the right time. When is it the right time? When is the right time? Because you are talking about the state acting and making sure that they chose which religion the state is going to champion. Do you think that people are not going to get hurt by it? Do you think it is not going to bring setback to our nation building? Do you think it is not going to, bring a problem to our status quo during our nation building? So that is now, have you seen now the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will always tell you that we are not preaching to be politically correct or diplomatic correct? Because diplomatic correctness is not what they use to instill this evil knowledge in us. When you are trying to be diplomatic correct, it means that you are doing the same thing the mainstream media has been using, the weapon that they have been using to actually make sure that they hide information from us. Because not all of us are going to be politically understanding. Not all of us have politically understanding. Not all of us are diplomatic in our comprehension. It is not all of us. So that is exactly the reason why we cannot postpone our problem. Because that has been the problem of Africa. We keep saying tomorrow we will do. I will join the struggle tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow. When you keep postponing your problem, it continues to accumulate. Because while you are postponing one, while you continue to postpone your problem, another one is actually erupting from nowhere. That is the reason why we cannot postpone this problem. It is a problem that we must solve as it is actually being, we are exposed to it. We must solve it. The most important thing, there is a reason why I actually made a reference to the Bible. The book of 1 John 4:1. When he said, believe not every spirit, but try every spirit. Try every spirit. The book of 1 John. Now, haven't we tried the spirit that governs this platform of Christianity? Haven't we tried the spirit that governs this platform of the so-called Ndo Omenana or Ndo Ordinana? Then I'll go kite. Haven't we tried those platforms? Haven't you seen, by their fruit, you will know them. Those who call themselves the Muslim. Haven't you tried to see and seen exactly what these things represent? Haven't you seen that it never meant well for you? I acknowledge the fact that you know that this is a problem, and it is a problem that is actually affecting the majority of the demographic majority in the black nations or in Biafraland or in Africa. It is a problem that we have noticed. We have actually noticed this problem. We are now trying to solve this problem. How do we now navigate this problem? How do we solve it so that our people will know exactly what we are talking about? It is not going through a politically correctness. Most of our people, they don't comprehend. That's why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu speak it raw. Sometimes he give it to you in Aburi way. Because if those Aboros who does not understand his, vocabulary, those Aboros who does not understand the way he is speaking it, they will understand it. You see, struggle for self-determination. You don't need to put makeup on it. Because you are trying to make somebody feel hurt for their ignorance. As long as you cannot make them feel their ignorance, what it feels like to be ignorant, what it feels like to be making mistakes that you have been making in the past so many decades, if not centuries. Do you think everyone has opportunity to actually, have a knowledge of politics like you? No, it is not so, my brother, my comrade. Postponing this to when we get Biafra, it is postponing our headache. We will take medication tomorrow. This headache, we'll just leave it behind. Let's sweep it under the carpet. Let's just try to, forget that we have headache. No. It is not a good move. The reason why I said it is not a good move, it is because those things are going to come back to haunt us. And there were many Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's voices that Matosala actually played in that program. There were many voices he played in that program. It is very, very important. I say that now. There is a saying that says, "Apa apa, alalunute." Not when it is time to now lalunute, then you got that power. No, you need to discuss it before you put the new town lalun. Because what you are saying now is that now it is now time to elalunute. Then you have already started sleeping on it, only to find out that it is not going to contain all of you. Because you didn't actually make a plan. You didn't make an arrangement. You didn't come to a resolution that this ute is too small. We have to now find a way to navigate it. We are going to sleep skew. We are going to sleep parallel. We are going to sleep horizontal on this mat so that it will actually contain all of us. So you need to prepare. You need to prepare in advance so that by the time you get to that bridge, you already have a glimpse of a decision that you need to make. It is very, very necessary because our people, they are the most difficult people. And the only thing that makes our people to come around, it is constant education. And that is the constant education that we are actually trying to implement and teach them. Because, of course, those of them that are benefiting from this problem that we are suffering from. If you look at the problem of Africa, number one problem of Africa is the politicians. So let us actually draw the map. Politicians is the number one problem of Africa. Politics, politicians. Let me not say politics, because if they could not play politics, the politicians supposed to ignore politics and do the one they're supposed to know. And the number 2 problem we have is religion. Okay, religion leaders. Let's not say religion, because let us actually categorize these challenges according to those who are actually fostering them. Now, politicians is the problem we have. Number 1 problem we have, politicians. Because inside politicians, you see political leaders. Now, number 2 problem we have are the religious leaders. Religious leaders. Because religion have their own branches. Anything you believe and pray to is your religion. You can call it religion. So let's put it religious leaders, because they are liars. And another, religious leaders, when we talk about religious leaders, we talk about Islamic religious leaders. We talk about paganist religious leaders. We talk about Christian religious leaders. We talk about atheist religious leaders. We talk about the Hindus religious leaders. We are holistic about this. Because our mind emancipation we are actually clamoring for, if we are not holistic about it, it means that we are not speaking truth to ourselves. We are trying to deceive ourselves, so that when we get there, we'll start shooting ourselves just because of religion. No. We cannot actually deceive our ways or manipulate it or to take shortcut. Shortcut has been the problem of Africa. Just like you see the ignorant Ejimako and the Kanu was discharging. Ejimako is not among the Lego team or the lead council, but they want to make plan to bring a doctor. If anything happened to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we are going to ask Ozokome and Ejiofor, because these are the people we know that handle the affairs of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So now, in this regard, because people does not actually do due diligence, people does not follow due process, that is exactly what we are wanting to bring our people back to, due process. And that due process we have actually, we did away with. It is one of the leading factor that is destroying us. And the model we are going to use in order to bring our people to come around, it is non-political model, non-diplomatic model. If you know how to slang them, you slang them. If you know how to speak it in slangs, may they understand. Slang it, may they understand. If you know how to be botic about it, be botic about it. Let them understand. If you know how to be grammatic about it, be grammatic about it. Let the grammars, those who comprehend grammar, understand it. If you know how to be robotic about it. Let them understand. You cannot actually tell us that you want to be politically correct, speaking to vast majority of people whom all their lives they've been hearing this in the name of Jesus. All their lives they have been hearing I prophesy. All their lives they have been hearing Okite, Ogwego. All their lives they have been hearing Ngatoginalosi. All their lives they have been hearing all this alahilaha or walahi talahi. So all these things, you don't need to. You need to actually be. You need to be holistic. Use a holistic approach. I know you are suggesting a blanket. Blanket is not going to work on our people. That is the reason why the Bible says, show my people their transgression. Speak out. Let us read it. Let us read it. Show my people their transgression. Speak it loud. Let me read it. Let me open it in the book of Isaiah. Because we are reading the Bible. so that our people will understand that we are not against their, their religious book. We are against the doctrine. We are against the doctrine, the false doctrine, using the religious book to perpetrate your falsehood, to feed our people your falsehood information, just to exploit them. That is exactly what we are against, and we will continue to be against it. We will continue. We will tell our people the truth. We are not going to hide it for them. The difference is very clear. The difference of oyem nangwagi and oyem I tell you, the difference is very clear. I have to tell you. If I don't tell you, I don't love you. And I have to tell you the bitter truth, so that that truth will continue to haunt you. When you remember it, you may hate me. But by the time it's sinking, you realize that I am not being prejudiced against you. I am not undermining your belief. I am actually speaking the truth concerning this thing, because it is affecting the vast majority of our people. Now, let us read the book of Isaiah 58. Why is my destiny hanging? Isaiah 58. Because let us actually use this small opportunity to read what they called Christian book. Because I've been trying to bring you to the knowledge of this truth. I am not going to add, because the Bible says you should not add, you should not remove, and precept must be upon precept. Your pastor, they preach without precept. That's why they were able to lie and manipulate you with their destiny, with their lies. Uwazuruike is still talking about people who gave falsehood prophecy against them. Now it says, Isaiah 58, I start from 1. It says, cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Have you now seen? This is Bible. It is not Judge Money's word. It is the word of the Bible. Now let me read the book of 1 John. 1 John, let us actually, for you to know you didn't make mistake being a Christian or being whichever way you are. But once you have actually, you continue to analyze the information. The reason why, there is a reason why you went there, so that you will understand how your enemy operates. But now going there and getting carried away and believing now this is the way, there is no other way. This is the way, there is no other way. I am going to be reading mostly Paul's letter. When I'm going to make sure that I bring things that, Paul's letter in the New Testament, letter to the Corinthians, letter to the Thessalonians, letter to this, all those things, they will teach you in a different way without you realizing that all these teachings that they have given you, they are teaching Paul's letter upside down. Bible is not a religious book. Bible is a constitution book. Bible is a historic book. Bible is sometimes you watch a movie. You watch a movie where people will say, now, there is a way these people did this thing. Let's seek for a solution. When they have many of you watch Merlin. Many of you watch a movie called Merlin. A magical movie. When Gaius, whenever there is a problem, Gaius goes to the old way book to understand how to actually fight a creature. That is the type of way, this book is. It is not a magic book. It is a historic book. When you go there, you realize how your own ancestors dealt with a particular problem. How your ancestors pray for a particular problem. How your ancestors actually fought a particular war. And how they actually made victory out of this particular war. They now use that thing, weaponize it, because they know you don't like to read. They weaponize it to come and actually give you in another formula. First John 4 verse 1. Let me read. I'm using King James. Like I always say, it is something that King James is the part of the Bible. I even heard it today from Methuselah's platform. When somebody was interacting with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they made the same reference. King James is, the book that you will understand. It is difficult to read it out, but it is very, very easy for you to understand the context of it. Now, let me read 1 John 4. He said, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Many false prophets are gone out into the world. Did you hear that? Many false prophets are gone out into the world. And you don't read the Bible, you will never actually realize that many false prophets are gone into the world. Now, I will also bring to you a quotation where he says that many of us are going to be cut off. It is our prophecy. Bible is a book of our prophecy. The prophecy of your life is already there. The prophecy of your nations is already there. Deuteronomy 28 talked about the future the prophecy that happened from the old. Before they bring you this thing you call the religion you are championing, after they might have dealt with you. Now, let me read the book of Matthew 24. I want to show you something in Matthew 24 so that you will understand that what we are doing, we are not doing it to actually undermine your capability or undermine your pastor. I don't want to read extra verse in 1 John, in the First John 4 from verse 1. You can actually be writing it down and read it yourself. Let me read the book of Matthew 24. Because so many of this prophecy was given to you. Even in your Sunday school, they sang it like a trumpet. They actually sang it for you. In a Sunday school, like all this, the way you sing poem. They sang it for you. You didn't understand it. That is the reason why it is now haunting you. Because you have ears, but you cannot hear. You have eyes, you cannot see. Now, let me read it from verse 3. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciple came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? And of thy end of the world, and of the end of the world. Did you hear that? When shall these things be? Remember, let me read from verse 1 so that you will understand it. Let me tell you how to read Bible. Let me give you a secret of how to read Bible and understand it. Every quotation anybody gave to you, if they analyze it, write their analysis. Go from the beginning. If they give you the book of Matthew 24, take up their analysis, write it down, go to the book of Matthew 1 to understand what the book of Matthew talks about. Then from reading the Matthew 1, then you will understand exactly what the book of Matthew was all about. Now, translation weakens some of these context, but the people of the book has risen to take back the book and to understand the book. We will understand it regardless of the manipulations of the translation. We will understand this. Now listen to it. Let me start from verse 1. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciple came to him to show him the building. He says, show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount Olives, the disciple came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? There shall not be known stone on top of each other. That is when the abolishment of church began, because there will be no stone on top of each other. When you hear the real gospel, you are not going to hear it on the auditorium of stone on top of each other. You will hear it anywhere, but you will not believe it because you are not familiar with the gospel. Now, it is now that people will start now implementing the book of Matthew 24, that many will come in my name. Now, they will start saying that we are Antichrist. But I want to show you that the person that is Antichrist, it is your pastor. It is your prophet, not us. Because they are doing it for benefit. I am doing it for the sake of mind emancipation of our people, giving you the power that belongs to you. Giving you the power that belongs to you, that you have refused to acknowledge. It is in your hands, but you have refused to understand it. Now, you undermine your capability of understanding it, but I am going to impact it on you. Through reading this book, you will know that how to read it. Now let me continue. Verse 3. And he sat upon the Mount Olives. The disciple came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? Which is Jesus, or Christ rather, or Yeshua, has been, not this white guy with blue eyes they put in our churches, has been giving them, speaking to them in parables. How the end time is going to be. What you are going to see, the signs, and the sign is all over the place, but you will not understand it. Now, he said to them, What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Listen, and Jesus answered, said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Take heed that no man deceive you. But you have been deceived every day. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. What have they done to you today? They have come in the name of Jesus. They have come in the name of Jesus, impersonating Christ. They have deceived you to the extent you forgot Matthew 6. How Christ taught you how to pray. And you are praying in the name of that Jesus that they have brought to you. Have you now seen that you are doing yourself? Because all this secret is there in a public domain. Is there in the book that you put under your pillow every night. Expecting your pillow to read this book for you. When pastors say in the name of Jesus, you say you receive. Amen. Without you understanding that the fulfillment of this prophecy, it came to pass 400 years ago. It came to pass, not 400 years ago. It came to pass, it came to pass 1600 years ago. 1600 years ago, which is 1600 years ago. It came to pass when this prophecy, when they actually, during the time of Constantine, that's when this one manifestation of this prophecy happened. 325 AD, during the time of crusade. So that's exactly when this one actually happened. Many will come in my name to say they are Christ, and they will deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Are you now listening? Who is fooling who? You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. What do you hear around your social media today? Russia is fighting. They will tell you Israel and Iran. They will tell you China is bringing military base to Cuba. They will tell you South Africa is supplying weapons to Russia. They will tell you that Iran is building ballistic missile that will not be stopped by Iron Dome, Israel Iron Dome. It is a war and rumors of war. It is happening. Now, all these are beginning of sorrows. All these are beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my sake. Ye shall be hated by all nations for my sake. This is an area where people and your pastor will hold to turn around this my teaching. They will always use this area to hold it to turn around this my teaching. Now let me tell you, that is also translation trying to make things, to look difficult for you to understand which context it is talking about. Now they will hate you for my sake. Do you know why? Do you know for whose sake? Whenever you start knowing the truth, just like we are telling you the truth today, they will hate you because you have known the truth. You are trying to feed this truth to other people. They will hate you for the sake of the truth, because the truth is the law. Of course, so many of you will always say, why, ask your pastor, and why are they not going to Old Testament? But Bible say, don't add, don't subtract. They are removing you from Facebook. If they remove you, bring yourself back up. They are removing you. Bring yourself back up if they remove you. Make sure of that. Don't miss this gospel. This is gospel of freedom. So, whenever you discover this truth, people will run away from you. I know many people who have run away from sharing my video because I am supporting this cause of emancipating our people's mind from this mental slavery of religion. Now, I know so many of them who have turned, they are hajizi akukwanya enem, but when you know the truth, people will hate you. When you preach the truth, people will hate you, because I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It is actually something that you are being used to. That is the problem of an African man. They don't want to come out from their comfort zone. So they will hate you. The reason why they don't read Old Testament is because Old Testament contains the law. The raw law. Yeah, I will say the raw law given to Moses. So many of these pastors will read the book of Galatians for you. Paul's letter to the Galatians. And when they come back to you, they tell you that the death of Yeshua, the death of Christ, he did away with the law. So you are no longer going to be judged according to the law. You are going to be judged according to the grace. Grace from who? When Bible say do not add, do not subtract, Christ only came to fulfill only one law. Law of animal sacrifice. Law of Ikwalu. It was our culture. Ikwalu. When you sin against the God, you will buy pigeon, you will buy goat, you will buy ram, you will buy cow in order to appease God. That is the reason why there is no longer Holy of Holies today, because of the abolishment of animal sacrifice. Christ only abolished it. And the reason why Christ abolished it was there are people who cannot afford those things. And when they cannot afford this, people in the community will detest them. People in the community will continue to actually make caricature of them. Because it is connected to the Bible context. That is the reason why Butano, every day you buy goat, You buy ram because you have sinned against the gods. You have sinned against the God. Bring this. Christ abolished that law. And Christ now fulfilled the laws and made himself the law. So whenever I am teaching the law, you will hate me for that. Because you don't want to acknowledge that the law is still in existence. But you will not go and actually bed another man's wife. You will not go and steal things that doesn't belong to you. You will not go and, if you do those things, you know the consequences. It is in the book of law. Is it not? The law of Exodus. There are the laws of Leviticus. There are many of them. The laws of Leviticus, it is where you will understand our own laws that is in Biafraland. It is connected to the Bible. It is connected to the Bible. He told you, false Christ will rise up. Let me just jump this thing and read verse 24. Matthew 24:24. Let me read it for you. Let me start 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lord, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. If any man shall say unto you and me, here is Christ, believe it not. Was there any camera during the time of Christ? The answer is no. But the Roman Empire came to you. They bring you a photo, tell you this is a Christ. And they bring you another photo, telling you it's Angel Michael on top of a black man with a horn. They demonize the black man with a sword and tell you it is the angel that, the Lucifer that stopped Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel from delivering the prayer of Daniel. Have you now seen the analogy? Have you now seen what they did to you? When the Bible tell you that if they bring you that thing and say they are Christ, reject it, that it is not. If any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Matthew 24:23. Now 24 said, for there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders. They will show you great signs and wonders. RNG prophecy. RNG. That is the signs and wonders. Just like the ones who buried themselves alive in Enugu, Ezekiel, Enugu State. I don't know where. These are signs and wonders they will show you. RNG and magic. Now, they shall show you signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. If it is, if it is possible, they will deceive the very elect. The elect is those who are actually rooted to the knowledge of the truth. Those who are, intellectuals. Those who intellectual in the things of spirituality. They will deceive those elect. We call them elite. They will deceive those elect. If it were possible, they will deceive. If it were possible, we are the elect the Bible talks about. Because there are something they will do today. There is another one that will come with another magic. Like the one that buried themselves alive. If you are not careful, as elect as you are like me, they will deceive you. Because you will be seeing they play the show now. They will deceive you. That is the reason why iron sharpeneth iron. Another elect will now remind you, no, this is a magic. This is not it. This is the Matthew 24:24. That is the reason why iron sharpeneth iron. People does not understand. We are the elect. We are the elect. Now, behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, Go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber. Believe it not. Ha sị gị na Jizọs nọ na tabernacle. Ha sị gị na Jizọs ji wee bịa na church. Any church. Ha sị gị na ọ bịagokwa na Anglican church. Ha sị gị na ọ jego nke Fada Elele. Ha sị gị na ọ jego nke Fada Mbaka. Believe it not. That is what the Bible is talking about. Tell your pastor to explain this. And explain the reason why they are lying to you. It is very, very necessary. Let them explain the reason why they are lying to you. Verse 11, Matthew 24:11 say, the false prophet shall rise and deceive many of you. They will deceive many of you. Now let me go to the book of Psalm for you to see what exactly their tongue devised. Because the book of Psalm, I want you to understand how sharp the tongue of this deceitful people in the name of your pastor and your reverends, how their tongue is deceitful. Let me go to the book of Psalm, because we bring it from the old to the new, from the new to the old. We don't pick and choose what we read. You just read it. If you don't understand it, bring it, I explain it to you. Bring it, I will explain it to you. Let me read the book of Psalm 52. Psalm 52, let me start from verse 1. Why boastest? Why boastest? Boast. Thou thyself in mischief, yet you are boasting. You are in a mischief. You are boasting. I carry power, just like America carry dollar. I carry power, just like America carry dollar. Ego prophet of the nation. He asks you, ego prophet, why boastest? Thou thyself is in mischief. O mighty man, the goodness of God endureth continually. Now, listen. Verse 2. That is where I want you to pay attention to. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor, walking deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than speaking righteousness. Selah. Have you now seen it? They came and they took your scroll. They studied it. They paid a price. Just like Fulani will pay a price for somebody within you to sell you off, to translate this Bible for them. They now make it a scroll that was found in Egypt when our people were still in the land of Egypt. That was where Bible originated from. Encounters of God, prophecies of the life of these people, of our people in the land of Egypt. Now, they took it, they studied it, they held this book for many years before they brought it back. When they were bringing it back, how did they, initiate the plan? Missionaries. They let the missionaries start teaching you the translation of your own belonging, your own history. That's why they conquer you, they rewrite the history, they teach you in another way. The ones that cannot be raised, they call it myth and legendary story. That's what they do. Now listen to it. Their tongue is as sharp as razor. They will use their tongue to deceive you. If they kick you out of Facebook, bring yourself back up. That is exactly what we are grappling with. They don't want you to listen to this program, but we will continue. Now, let me also read the book of Romans 12. I think I I am actually bringing this program towards an end, but there are many. Romans 12. I just want to use the Bible to actually make you understand that this same Bible that these your pastors and prophets claim they are deriving their inspiration from, it is a lie. They are using this Bible because in a wrong hand, the Bible will do evil. In a wrong hand, they will use Bible to do evil. They will use it to steal from you. They will use it to take you to hellfire. They will use it to take you to hellfire, which is the one me and you are in today. And I'm fighting for us to come out because they use this to set us into a hellfire. We are in it. Hellfire, it means losing your freedom. Very in a simple word, or for lack of a better word. You lose your freedom, you are in hell. So, how do we navigate this hell problem? Let us actually read the book of Romans 12, verse 1 to 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Which is your reasonable service. How do you present your body and everything? By going back to obey the law of Exodus. Going back to obey the commandment of God. Now, verse 2, which is where I want you to pay attention to. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. By the renewing of your mind. Don't hold on. You see now where the Bible is explaining everything what we are doing. Those who are fighting for their religion, you are conformed to this world. You cannot create room or allow transformation to come in because you are holding on to this world. I cannot let go. This is my Jesus. They want to take my Jesus from me. I am a Christian. I cannot let go. Don't let go. It is up to you. But at the last day, you will be judged by the truth that you have heard from Judge Money and other people who are telling you. Christianity and their doctrine today, it is a faction of the Bible. The same way you see autopilot and IPOB. Now, let me read this again. For I say, okay, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now we are going to renew your mind. Make it of a new, so that you will now remember whom you were. Pre-colonialism. Pre-crusade. Now, let's continue. That ye may prove what is that. You may prove what is that good. Remember that King James, there is a way it speaks. Do you know why? It is part of the first book, the first translation. They were still raw about it. They were still raw. Remember, it is part of the translation. Now it says, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And perfect will of God. If you are not conformed to this world, if you allow yourself to be transformed, making sure it is not about what you are used to, your comfort zone, transformed to understand what is good, accept it and perfect it because it is the will of God. Now, let me also go to this Paul's letter because there is always one problem we don't understand. Gentiles and there is, when you talk about Gentiles, we don't understand the word Gentiles. The word Gentiles simply means alien, foreigners. The way we are all Gentiles in the land that we have been dwelling. Those of you who are in UK, you are a Gentile, or you are in a Gentile nation. Those of you who are in United States, you are a Gentile or in a Gentile nation. Those of you who are all over the European countries across, you are a Gentile in that land, or you are in a Gentile nation. Now, Gentile simply means a foreigner. So that when this Paul's letter is being taught, they tell you he took message to the Gentiles. You will not understand. Our people became Gentiles in the land where they are, like we are now. We are a Gentile in our nation where we are domiciled. Now, let us go to the book of let's go to this Paul's letter, book of Galatians. Let me touch the book of Galatians. Galatians is another challenging, verse in the Bible that troubles people for understanding. Let me go to verse 16. Let's go to verse 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walk in the Spirit, that ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Oh, what happened? Okay. Now, for the flesh lusted against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary, the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Now, the reason why you must walk in the Spirit, because those prophets, those pastors, they are lusting after material things. That is the reason why he said to you, walk in the Spirit. For I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. They don't walk in the Spirit. They are fulfilling the lust of the flesh. That's what they are doing. The lust of the flesh is those who will come after, like Uwazuruike, they will come and rant, hey, we are Biafran, this and that. Like Asari Dokubo, all these politicians, they will come and say, yeah, only to attract attention. They are lusting after the flesh. And he tells you that for the flesh lusted against the Spirit, while the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to the these are contrary to one to another, so that ye cannot do things that ye would. It is contrary to one another. It's either you are hot or you are cold. You cannot choose to be lukewarm. They spit you out. Walk in the Spirit, or you walk in the flesh. That's exactly. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under law. Now, did you see now? Even the Galatians talked about the law. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under law. You see now, I am led by the Spirit, that I am not under law. Do you know what that means? Does not mean that because I know the truth, I am exposed to the knowledge of the truth, now I will start doing what I want. No. It means that I am no longer under law, because I have actually accepted the law. I'm no longer under it. I have accepted the law, which is the way, the truth, and the life. No one cometh to my Father except through me. The law, the way, the truth, and the life. And that is the law. Not Jesus, Anya Blue. It is not Jesus, Anya Blue. for you to know that the law is the way, the truth, and the life. I'm going to show you something before we call it a day. I'm going to show you something. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: idolatry, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. Have you seen? That is the reason why I mention all these your political leaders. They say also idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies. Have you not seen the reason why I mentioned this your political criminals? These are the people walking in the flesh. The same applicable to your pastor. That is the reason why Bishop of Enugu State could not see the evil that, all these politicians are committing. That is the reason why all these bishops, they could not see the evil people are committing. They can't speak. These people, they are walking in the flesh. These people are evildoers. That's why they take them to theology first, before they give them the cassock. You know why? They take them to theology for the sake of making sure they brand them in a way that they must preach this thing. They mustn't preach it as it is. They will now add and subtract. That's why they go through theology. Because theology is going through making sure that you know how to add and subtract. Knowing how to manipulate the gospel. To use it for the benefit of the church. The so-called church. So that you will get more offering and send to Rome. And send to Anglican. And send to your pastor. That's the way it is. That is theologies. They call them theologians. Exactly. They call them theologians. Now, there is something I said I will show you. Of course, I have actually, let me leave this one, but I want you to know whenever you get to your Bible, anywhere you don't understand, you go to my WhatsApp message, send it to me, I will read it for you. Bible is not the enemy. For those who call Bible their enemy, Bible is not the enemy. It is your pastor and their Christianity, because anything as in onye na-emefa, onye ọwụna na-ekpelefa ga-adịkafa. Those who worship them will look like them. Anything you are actually exposed to. You are exposed to, if you are exposed to, what is it called? If you are exposed to the platform of idolatry, you will know. The ways of idolatry is where you will go. So that is exactly what is happening with our people. They are being exposed to the wrong platforms, and in the name they are praying to their God in a wrong platform. They believe that at some point miracle will happen. Miracle is the only miracle that is going to happen is to take that book that the pastor is reading for you and telling you I'm praying for you. Take it and read it. Don't put it under your pillow as your bulletproof from witchcraft. Read it, study it thoroughly. Don't study it as a spirituality or you want to pray with it. Study it the way you study when you want to write exam. Study it the way you study when you are actually writing history. Study it with the way you study when you want to be a historian. Study it that way. Then you will understand everything that it teaches you. There are many more that we can talk about. If you read the book of Micah 3:11, you will understand what I am saying. If you read the book of Jeremiah 6:13, you will understand what I am saying. Now there is a book we must read. For those of you who will see this, my teaching and the teaching of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and you will undermine it. Let me tell you what the prophecy say about you. The prophecy say in the book of Zechariah, that came to my mind now. The book of Zechariah, because I cannot continue to read all these things. But there is another voice that I heard calling in Igbo different names. I don't know, he's also speaking Igbo. Calling in Igbo different names, and he made mention the book of John 9. He made mention the book of John 9, and he actually expressed that and explained it out of context. He might be angry because of what is happening. I don't blame him. I blame the people who allow themselves to be a fool. I blame them. So, read the book of Zechariah. Zechariah, let me try to close with Zechariah 13. But there are many precepts that comes to head as we are speaking. When you read Bible, the precepts will continue to come to you. That is when you are reading it in truth and honesty. Zechariah 13. Let's look at Zechariah 13, verse 8. It says, or let me start from verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd and against the man that is my fellow, said the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd. Smite the shepherd. Who is your shepherd in the church? Your religious leaders, your politicians, all of them, your traditional leaders. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. I will turn my hands upon the little ones. These are the people, if you are not, your parents refuse to listen. Because it is up to you now, as long as you have heard the message, you teach it to your little ones. Don't believe I receive. When you go into church for miracle, I receive. You are a criminal. Because you are going to reap from where you did not sow. Before you receive, before China received, they were working hard in their workshops. You cannot go to church, they say, hey, receive your miracle. You receive. Miracle you sowed where? They never tell you receive technology gift. Only receive your miracle. It is a criminal for you to every day you go to church looking for what to receive. Receive your miracle. I open door for you. I this and that. It is a criminal. It is a criminal offense. In case if you are not aware of it, you be aware. Because so many of you, you don't want to die. But if let me read it. Let me continue. He says, Awoke, O sword, against my shepherd and against the man that is my fellow, says the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I will turn my hand upon the little ones. He will not even spare your little ones if you continue to be ignorant of the truth. That this is the reckoning time. Now let's continue. It shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, two parts thereof, two paths therein shall be cut off and die. It is not just cut off and, they shall be cut off and die. This is the Bible saying it. You know the two paths. Those who continue to follow the ways of the Edomite. Read the book of John 9. Then you will understand that is the John that this guy was talking about, that that he is actually using Igbo to place in the context of the Edomites. It is the discussion that Christ had with those who call themselves the Jews. The Jews. I want you to read it. They are the Edomites. Whether they are in the land of Israel or wherever, they are the Edomites. Read the book of John 9. You will understand whom the Christ was talking about. Someone contextualize it to our people. To the extent they told Christ that we are the seed of Abraham. We are the seed of Abraham. He said, you are not of Abraham. That was the reason why in Genesis 25:25, he said, 2 different nations shall separate from the bowl of Rebekah. From the bowl of Rebekah. And the other one shall serve the younger one. 2 different nations. That's why when the one was coming, he was holding, when Esau was coming, the other one was holding his hand, his leg. That you cannot, they were fighting in the stomach. Because it was not the purpose. Then you read the book of Romans 9, verse 13 or Sigi. He said, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Is there unrighteousness with God? The same Bible says, God forbid. For those of you who will say, you ask yourself the reason why somebody bring you a man, white man with the blue eyes, to tell you it is your Messiah, it is your Savior. The same people that put you in abject poverty today. And they tell you it is your Messiah, it is your God, you accept it. And they bring you a black man, and a white man on top of a black man, putting a horn for them, and tell you, this is Lucifer, and this is Angel Michael. You agree with them. We are championing religion under Christianity. They demonized you. And that's why you see yourself as demon today. Behaving like one. You hate each other because you see yourself to be demons. Because they showed you, they depicted the demonness that they have created in you. And now depicted the angelness they have created in themselves. And they now rose against you. And they will be on top of you with a sword. Having it up. If you mess up, we kill you. If you mess up, we kill you. We destroy your economy. That is exactly what that depiction of Angel Michael and Lucifer means. There is nothing like Angel Michael on top of Lucifer. Who took the picture? Who took the picture? They were drawings of Christ from in the land of Egypt. If you go to the pyramid, if they have not changed it, you should see them there. Egyptian pyramids. They were brown and black people there. The history was drawn. They draw their history. They tell their story through drawing. And the same way, so many, even the time of Egyptians were the first people who started writing in calligraphy. Their writing was calligraphy, the most beautiful writing. Now, even the same way the Europeans were drawing their own history somehow. They actually started drawing their history. Now, when you talk about the Saxons, the stories of the Saxons, the stories of the Vikings, all these things, it is actually their history. I want you to follow every movie that is playing, especially those TV series. That is European TV series. Follow them. Make a research about those movies. Make a research about the history about those movies. You will find out that it is they are remembering, they're using these movies to actually remember what they were like, how they were killing each other, how they extended their crusade to other nations. You will understand it there. Those movies are not just a drama, a play. Those are real, true life stories. So many of you, when you watched Titanic, of course, you might not know that Titanic happened real life. They just acted the movie. The same way it happened, they acted the movie. Knowledge shall increase. Daniel 12, verse 4. Knowledge shall increase. It is actually the sign of the end time. Increment of knowledge. You will begin to understand many things that was hidden from you. You will see people exposing secret things, even though the mainstream will come and call it fake news. That is the knowledge that is increasing. That is how you will discover that we are in end time. He says that you will cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So in this struggle we are fighting, two paths is going to cut off and die. Especially those paths who is not free to come out of their comfort zone. They will be cut off and die. Regardless of if you are, whether you are in front of this struggle or you are in front of agitation, if you cannot know the truth, you will never be free. It is the only truth that will set you free. And that truth that you are hearing from me right now, it is actually what is going to be used to judge you. Those who died of ignorance will be judged in ignorance. Those who died of the truth will be judged according to the truth. I don't want, most of the time, the reason why I try to avoid this, it is because you might be thinking I'm sounding like your pastor. The reason why it looks like, it sounds like I'm sounding like your pastor, it is because they are the faction of the original teaching and the gospel of Christ. They factionalized the gospel for their own benefit. They will do magic, you will receive. They will, everything they do, you receive. So, it is very, very important. I want you also to read the book of Proverbs 13. I don't have time to read it more. Proverbs 13. And I want you to read the book of Colossians. Okay. This Colossians, I think it is very, very important. Let it be the closing. Let it be the closing remark. The book of Colossians. Let me read it. It is very, very important. Let me read it. The book of Colossians 3 verse 9. I will start 3 verse 8. Book of Colossians, let me start from verse 7 so that we will close with it. In the Colossians 3 verse 7, it says, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. Pay attention. But now ye also put off all this anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy, communication out of your mouth. Did you hear that? You put off all these things out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man, which his deeds. Did you hear that? I want to read it properly here. Lie not one to another, saying that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. Ye have put off the old man with his deed. Now, let me read from verse 10 as well. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in the knowledge after the image of him that created him. Did you hear that? Because the one you are familiar with now, it is the old man you are familiar with. You will not want to let him go because it is your comfort zone. Let me read it again, because let it be your memory verse, just like they used to tell you in Sunday school. Now, lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all. Put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowers of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness and long suffering. Now, if you go to the book of Genesis, you will find where these things begin. This instruction. This is like instruction where it began. The book of Genesis, I think it is either Genesis 5 or Genesis 17. But in the book of Genesis, where it talks about circumcision, the old man, that skin, the first skin that you remove, it is the old man. Then now you are wearing the new man. That is making sure you reject those things that is your comfort zone and now accept the new development. It is painful. When you undergo through a circumcision process, it is painful. Very, very painful. But when you come out of it, you will enjoy it. When you want to go to the toilet, you don't need to start folding something like you are wrapping a cloth. It is the old man. You bring the new man into you. Contextualize it to what we are saying now. It is about you making sure that those things you are familiar with, that you believe is your comfort zone, you will be able to leave it behind and follow suit with, the reason why it talked about circumcised or uncircumcised. Let me clear that part because so many of you will be confused by it. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew. Now, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor non-circumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all. This is, what are we reading? Colossians, Paul's letter. Paul's letter is something that is very, very confusing. Do you know what is the meaning of that? It was letter written to our people. Do you know why? In Greek, in Corinthians, in Colossians. Now, the reason why this letter was written and written in this manner, if you go to the North America or South America, there are our people there who see themselves as even white people. There are our people there who are uncircumcised. That is the reason why he knows it is all about the bloodline. If you go to North America, there are our people there who are uncircumcised. So that's why he is not going to count them because they are circumcised or not. But the bloodline is what he is looking for. The bloodline where he scattered them amongst the nations of the earth. Well, some of them are seeing themselves as Americans. Blacks in Europe see themselves as Europeans. So that's why he made this reference, circumcised or uncircumcised. I know if I didn't come back to actually explain it very well, those people will still be having it, difficult to understand the meaning of Gentiles and the Jews. Because some of the Jews see themselves as Gentiles in the Jewish land, or in the Jew land, not in the Jewish land. Some of the Jews see themselves as Gentiles because they were born in the land of Gentiles. They grew up there. They followed the Gentiles' way. They were not circumcised. So that's why he is looking at the bloodline because of cross-pollination. No, I won't say interracial marriage. Interracial marriage. That's what actually resolved to that. When your pastor reads Paul's letter for you, they explain it in a manner that you will understand the English, but you will never understand the context. You will never understand the context. That is the reason why we are the elect that has come to tell you the truth. concerning your historical book called the Bible, the prophecies of your life, telling you the fulfillment of the prophecies, the ones that are yet to come. The ones that are yet to come is that 2 parts of us are going to be cut off. It is happening. So many of us are not seeing it. It is happening. But until we meet again, meditate in that word. We are not prejudiced against your religion. We are not prejudiced against your belief. But ask yourself, did your father, did your ancestors bring this religion? Is there anywhere in the Bible where Bible say you must be called Christian? Or is there anywhere in the Bible where Bible say they were called Christian? By whom? If you can show me anywhere in the Bible where Bible say they were called Christian, that you can be called Christians, I will drop this topic. I will never teach it again. But I will show you where in the Bible, where the origin of Christianity started. The origin of Christianity, where it started. I can show you in the Bible. But the topic for another day. Until you challenge me on that, I will not show you. But the basics is what we are trying to in actually help you to inculcate, to instill it in you, so that you will know where you might have fallen short. Because you know what we are praying to? It has a significant impact towards our struggle and how long our journey to freedom is going to last. That's why we will never deviate from preaching this gospel. It is a gospel for emancipation. It is a gospel for freedom. Freedom spiritually, freedom physically, freedom intellectually, freedom financially, and freedom to make a decision, and freedom to go back to your root. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed, share the video, and thank you for watching. Shalom. I see many of you in the comment section. Chinasa, Ebi, Gina, Mystic, Uzo, Ezade, Gina, Chukwu Eme, Emmanuel, Chinasa, Pauline, Dikocha. There are many of them. Hygienus Madoka. Hygienus Madoka. That name sounds familiar. Uwazuruike, okay, Ike Chukwunaji, and among others. There are many of them. Raphael Joe, Adaneka, Adeline. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. We must continue. Those watching on YouTube, I salute all of you. Those watching on Twitter, I salute all of you. Don't forget to retweet. It is a Twitter Tuesday. That is how we've made also some tweets earlier.